Hot damn, hoodie hoo! As they would say in the hall, we gotta love our boy Is. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Milton, Megatron, how you guys doing in the chat? Welcome back to another wonderful stream, baby. Another wonderful stream. We're doing a bit of that tribe talking today. There's not very much to chat about today, just general community outrage. Outrage. That's what we like to hear, right? We all like to hear a little bit of that outrage. Soul, how you doing? Asymmetry. How the hell has the podcast been around for you? I don't even know, Bazinga. I don't even know. It's crazy, right? Outrage indeed, Nate. Outrage indeed. Pure and utter hatred from like a really vocal minority. I can't even tell if it's like half the people in the game pissed off or just like 17 really angry people that are everywhere. I'm not sure. Arkstar, how you doing? Do I know if CG are going to release the Slacker bundle or not? I have no idea, Ark. I'm sorry, dude. They don't tend to talk to me about upcoming pack releases. I wish I had all the information. I could just give it to you, buddy. Really do. Rough time to be a recruiter in SWGoH. Tell me about it, Sol. The community has definitely let the hate flow through them. They have. Good. Good. Let the hate flow through you. We love a bit of outrage. I mean, we are an incredibly dramatic lot, aren't we? We're very dramatic. The Sith have been hard at work with the amount of hatred flowing, and they have. Did I see the General Syndulla ability leak? I haven't, Luminous. Can you link it? I mean, I saw the announcement. Can we also take a moment? Because, you know, my boy Karth and my boy Wolfie are going to be here having a chat soon, obviously. But I just want to take this very quick moment to say, I flippin' told you that ship is Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Starfighter. I don't know why everybody was so certain it was going to be a brand new ship. Guys, it's just her ship. Like, everybody's like, no, it's definitely gonna, that's too easy. It's too easy. It's definitely gonna be Ahsoka's new ship. It's like, what? No. It was so odd. Like, it was literally that ship. The silhouette was her ship, and people were like, no, I don't buy it. Not happening. No fucking way. No fucking way. I did get the last set wrong, of course. Because I didn't think that General Hera was going to be the requirement. Not at first, at least. Let's decrease that volume a little bit. It's really funny, Wolfie. I agree, buddy. Because I don't know if we actually went over it on Friday night or I was too drunk to remember. Because I don't remember going over it. It might have been a whole thing like, oh my god, it's Hera, who fucking knew? And then we just ignored it. But I like it was earlier today when I finally had the wherewithal to actually go and look at it. I was like, oh, well, there you go. It's Ahsoka's Jedi Starfighter. You think Plo will be the last wreck? So do I, Lumi. So do I. Snips' ship was so obvious. It was. All good, Lumi. All good. Oh, my God. You thought it was going to be Punishing One? But it was light side. It was a light side ship. If the Punishing One was light side, maybe. I think Plo Koon is the last. He has to be right. How he's the other one that found it? Yeah, exactly so. Wow, really? You don't remember something from Friday? Wild. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, why do I not remember that? It's a mystery. It's a mystery. And GLD did happen, yeah. Aside from the Slack bombs and the GLD bombs, that was the wildest Friday night, guys. That was the wildest Friday night. We had a Friday? Well, apparently. Can't remember why he can't remember. Must have been a good night, right? Considering the next stuff will be Bad Batch, are you still confident the next raid will be based on Ahsoka's show? Not massively, no. Genuinely speaking, I think we'll find out in January. Because it just feels like there's too long of a break now, you know? What's going on, Thatcher? It was so obvious, yet people kept on spec. Yeah, they just didn't trust CG, did they? I wonder why. I wonder why they didn't trust him. But they definitely did not trust CG. They were just like, you know what? Fuck that guy and fuck the ship he rode in on. Oh, what's this? Yeah, All good. The Peridia raid, yeah. It still makes sense to me, but the fact that we haven't heard anything about it, and we're probably not going... maybe when episode 2 comes out, maybe we'll hear something about what's coming next year, but I have my doubts. You think it's Plo or Bo? Plo because the anniversary chest. Well, Plo also found Ahsoka and brought her into the Jedi fold. So he's kind of a pivotal character for her. And Bo because it was seen on SWGoH. I think the SWGoH thing has been debunked, Astra. As in, it's happened before for other characters and it's had no connotations. But it still might be. I had her down as a requirement originally. I think this gives people too much time to farm stuff from the Ahsoka show. It'd be a raid centered around that theme for sure. Yeah, I mean, well, I thought we were going straight from Ahsoka into GL Thrawn with like GL Thrawn requirements, and then it would be a Peridia raid with Spectre, Mercenary, Night Sisters, and what's its face? Imperial Remnant. For Thrawn, obviously, with Thrawn being the featured GL for the raid. But now I'm not sure. You managed to try the counter? No, I've not had. I didn't even climb in Squad Arena today. I've had a busy day going around the shops, cooking a lovely lamb dinner for Mrs. Scribble and I. Has every old Lightspeed bundle been re-released now? I'm not sure, Ark. Nice video on the update, Scribe. Sorry to hear about the chat abuse. Hopefully people will start to calm down. Well, to be honest, like the chat response to that was far more positive. I just think that there is a rather vocal amount of people that just fucking despise the game, and I think they're angry. Justifiably so, to be honest. But I think for a moment they are misdirecting that anger at me for some reason, like I'm the reason this update is out. Like... I get it. People are angry. Hey, MP, how you doing, buddy? I'm good. Massively enjoyed the drunkenness oversharing in the last stream. Didn't catch the end, though. How many shots deep? I can't even remember. This is still at... No way. Did we do 35 shots? That feels really high. The plus counter is insane because it was a mad stream. I can't have done 35 shots. That's ridiculous. No way. I would be dead. I'd be dead. Well, I must have been counting like Rangers shots or something. We're definitely going to get a lot of them at Christmas. It was like 17 to 20 max. Yeah. We discussed that it wasn't possible. Yeah, now there's guys, there's no way I'm doing 35 shots of a 42% proof. I would literally be dead. So I've obviously drunkenly probably replaced a 1 with a 3 there. It might be... No. Yeah, maybe 15 shots is more about right. But that doesn't go through a whole bottle either, so I don't know how. Hey, there aren't even that many shots in a bottle. How many are there? There's 700 still. What is it? 700 divided by 25. There are 28 shots in a bottle. But I don't think I did 28 shots either. I know Mr. Scribble did 1, but... I don't know. Do. You taking baby shots? No, it's a normal sized glass. It must be downstairs cleaning. It's a normal sized shot glass. But I definitely didn't do 35 shots. There's no way I did 35 shots. So. No way, Jose. But again, it might have just been drunk me counting Rangers shots. Hey, Reafx, thank you for the subscription with Prime, buddy. Appreciate you. Right. Okay, I'm going to start the call now. I also need to grab a beer, so before we begin, I will be grabbing a beer. I'm sure that's probably made my camera go squiffy, hasn't it? Yeah, it has. Let's go ahead and fix that camera.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, we already had this entire discussion on Friday when we were trying to figure out how many shots you had, because there was like somebody in chat was apparently, someone in chat was apparently more drunk or stoned than we were. and was keeping count for you, and was like, "You're on 35 shots." We're like, "That's not possible, guy. I don't know what you want from me."
What do you want? Yeah, no, it's definitely not possible. Absolutely not possible. So yeah, somebody was drunker than me. That much is sure. Let me see. I'll need that roughly over there somewhere, and then this over here, and that can be. Well, actually, that could be that one. That could be that one, and then this one can be. I think actually, as soon as one of you turns on your camera, it's going to rearrange the windows. So, actually, if I do that, fixed it. Kind of.
Yeah.
There's Wolfie. Wolfie looks pretty.
Woo-hoo!
Look at Wolfie in his new camera. Here he is. There he is. Let me entertain you. So come on, let me entertain you. Oh, now.
Yeah, we decided that for a 750 milliliter bottle, that there was about 16 to 17 shots in there. So.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, like I don't know how else to explain it, but the bottle's empty. So something must have happened, but I don't think
Mrs. Scribble had one of them.
She did have one of them, like a fucking boss as well.
Yes,
You're
absolutely champed it.
The easy answer is this: your shot total that you had was the total that everyone had helped you contributed to.
Yeah, must have been.
So you were also counting what ranger shots are for net as taking away from your total shots owed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why the counter was so high, but not how many you actually had.
Yeah.
As someone who was stone cold sober through the entire event, it was really easy.
Who was
to keep
that?
track.
It wasn't me. I definitely was not stone cold sober.
You were
sorry
pissed
for you,
drunk
friend.
before I got off work. So
I'm proud of us.
like everybody
Didn't
is a
take
few
that
hours
long.
ahead of me. Yeah, it didn't take long, but you start like at 2:30, I think, my time.
Wolfie, you look so
So it's
pretty,
like
man.
by like 4:30, it was
Thank
like,
you.
all right, well,
Wolfie
we're
got a
host.
new camera, everybody.
And no longer potato. I'm not quite as advanced as our boy Scribble over here, but I'm no longer potato.
No, it
I'm
looks
happy
looks
with.
very good, and I don't know if you've just got like if you've got a new conditioner or something, Wolfie, or the camera just really highlights how fucking beautiful your hair is. But
I
your
think it's
hair
just
looks.
making it super shiny.
I think you should be in like fucking adverts for some hair product or something, because that thing looks smooth.
Well, goddamn.
Oh goddamn!
Take it.
All right, so
Oh man.
funnily enough, I haven't consumed enough alcohol this weekend, so I need to go and grab a new beer. I'll be back in a minute.
Do it up, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where did
my
the
camera's
cards go?
gonna stay off for a few minutes while I stuff my face, because we had like monstrous winds this last weekend
Okay.
blow through, and so now like literally every single leaf from my neighbor's trees is blown down, and now it's just
Ooh.
time to get everything cleared out.
Ooh.
So I spent all morning getting the roof blown off, getting the gutters cleaned up, and then doing the backyard
Damn.
and get everything hauled out to the street. Luckily, our city will come and pick up our leaves if they're on the street. And then
I live in an apartment.
I have to do the front yard after this. So I need sustenance.
Hey, sustenance is good. But
Yeah.
yeah, sounds like a fun time. And like I said, I live in a fucking apartment. Nice to not have to deal with any of that bullshit. But
Yeah,
oh, man.
well, for my apartments, I hire somebody to do it, but for my house, I don't have the luxury.
Pretty sure you do. You can just hire the same person who's doing the apartments. Like you have the guy's phone number. Like
I
have you not thought of
I
this?
do.
Have you not?
But I don't
want
wanna
to
pay him.
Like, come on.
I don't want to pay him.
Jeez.
Do you want to pay whom now?
Somebody a landscaper to blow the leaves at my house.
He's like, oh my god, I got all these leaves I gotta deal with. I mean, I pay somebody to deal with all the apartments, but I mean, I have no idea what to do for my own house.
Yeah.
No, I know what to do for my own house. I don't want to pay for it. That's different.
Karth, just wail harder on your house, damn it.
Yeah, seriously. Gosh.
I am
Hey.
married. That job is already taken.
What, wailing harder on the house? That's your wife's job, is it?
Yeah, that's the missus. That's the missus job. She does it very well.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. I feel like we need a dark side Ray Vision background, because we've had Hu Yang.
Ooh, yes, please. Oh my god.
She looks She makes me feel things, Wolfie. And I'm not afraid to admit it.
I tell you one thing. That is one woman who I never want a blowy from because them teeth look fierce.
Yes, that looks terrifying.
Dem teeths, bro. Dem teeths.
You ever want to just go right after a Sarlacc pit because that's what's gonna happen.
I will say initially I thought there was absolutely no chance that we would ever get her in the game.
Same.
And I was like, again, I had to tell MJ that he was right and I was wrong. I sat there for I don't know how many times I must have told him it's never happening. It's not going to happen. I have never been so happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's beautiful.
To be fair, like out of everything First Order they could have brought in to support Kylo, this is the best option in my opinion. I didn't like any of the other ones that they had. Like I didn't like the idea of Snoke. I didn't like the idea of just bringing in another like General Pride or whatever else and having them be
Pride. It would have been kind of boring.
Yeah, but this is like
I thought Pride was going to be one of the marquees for C way back when. I thought like General Pride, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but they didn't do that.
Instead,
they thought they went down the route of what C doesn't really have a team. He's got himself and Watt.
Him and Watt.
And GBA and maybe Thrawn and Armorer. That classic team that we see in the films.
Dude, the release of that Galactic Legend was absolutely ridiculous because we're sitting like trying to figure out what the hell this guy actually does, and it's like, okay, he can solo gas, but otherwise he kind of sucks ass.
Yeah.
But
scree. Drogon is a completely made-up character, just like Sorty. Sorty and technically, I suppose they might be canon. I don't know, but they haven't featured in anything outside of SWGoH.
Yeah, they're not necessarily canon. They are made-up characters. So GBA, Sorty, and Drogon are all characters that they made up and then produced. Which GBA that was a forgivable one. Sorty, they took a lot of inspiration from SWTOR,
right,
and the Gemini droids. And then Drogon was like, well, he could have been there. So it's like, all right, but like, really, we couldn't have picked anybody else to be the team.
Yeah, I think felt bad because it was right fucking there. All they had to do was give us just one more Han. All right, just one more fucking Han. Give us Endor Han. Just be done with it. Like, we're getting Endor.
Thematically, that makes so much more sense than Drogon as well. Like,
100%.
He was there. He was there. I mean, they could have done Endor Luke, for Christ's sake. They could have done it.
Anybody.
But
I mean, they honest to God, like, could have just done the Endor theme and for all Endor skin all the characters and then just set the team out and people still would have eaten it up. There was probably like a lot more negative reaction to Drogon because people were like, but there were other characters that we know that were there.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It just felt like a why sort of thing. Like I got no hatred towards Drogon, nothing against him or anything. It's more just like why. You had so many other easy things that you could have done. There was so many other obvious options.
General Lando.
It just feels like it's an unforced error on their part. And it's just why
we could totally use a good Lando. I would be okay with that. It's really disappointing that young Lando is not a good Lando.
I mean, he's not bad. If you actually
better
put
than
good mods
OG
on him,
Lando.
he does stack up pretty well. He can actually end up doing some pretty good damage over there. But yeah, he's much better than OG Lando. Holy
I was
crap,
going to say,
I'm so sorry.
It's like saying Nisa is better than Tebow. It's like, yeah, but.
Well, I mean, also we have Skiff-Guard Lando.
That's
Lando's
true.
Pretty good. We have a good Lando.
To be fair, I take it back.
The...
Skiffy Lando is actually pretty good.
Skiffy Lando is also the most replaceable member on that team too.
Only because he's light side and
light side doesn't have much to do with bounty hunter capabilities.
Has nothing.
Only
he's
real.
Not a bounty hunter.
He's not a bounty hunter.
No, he's not. Well, but he doesn't have a contract, so that's the kind of like the problem is he doesn't get amplified when he gets upgraded. His AI is kind of dog shit on who he passes the bonus turn to. It's not consistent, and like runs can be like one eat with a sheep counter because he's like, oh, I'm gonna pass the turn too. Chrysanthemum, you're like, oh, buddy, I wish you wouldn't have.
I nearly
But,
missed
you know,
out
just-
on Smuggler's Run 2 yesterday / this morning because I totally forgot to do it, and I got it in this morning with like 35 minutes left on the clock, and I was like, so,
Yeah, wasn't that supposed to be simmable? I seem to
Yeah,
remember
it's-
them saying it was going to be simmable. I'm
soon
confused.
TM. Soon TM. I
Soon
think.
TM.
Yeah, I
Okay. My favorite.
I think that CG are trying to fit in one more thing that's really going to piss off the player base before they introduce that fix.
Okay, that makes
they-
sense.
they're just trying to make
get it
sure-
all out at once.
Yeah, yeah. Get that pot over boiling first, and then try to do damage control.
If you're gonna flood the zone, I mean, might as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm not, yeah, you might as well go for broke at this point. Like
Yeah.
everyone's pissed off. You might as well just keep going.
Yeah, why not?
You're not going to change it.
Okay,
Man.
Kath, I need to center your camera because I can't see what to do.
I will get. All right. I will turn it on briefly and quit stuffing my face.
Yes, very briefly. That's the wrong one. Here we go.
Look at that
Okay.
face stuffer over there.
Look at this fucking
I
asshole.
was telling Wolfie while
Okay, you can turn it off now.
you
It's
were
fine.
away.
If you want to continue stuffing your face, stuff your face away.
I'm doing yard work and I'm trying to get lunch while we're doing this. I'm trying to not look like
I'm doing yard work, eating lunch, and I'm doing tribe talk. So they say guys can't multitask. I mean, come on.
I mean, I'm not multitasking now.
Wow.
But yeah.
All right, cool. I'm going to do the intro because we are 22 minutes deep and we haven't said
Oh, we
anything
weren't
yet.
tribes talking already?
No, apparently not. Apparently not. Hi guys, welcome to Tribes
Okay.
Talk, where sometimes we start late or start early. The Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes podcast featuring the Welshman, the Whale, and the Wolf. Sometimes other people, here's what it is. All we talk about on this show, bar none, no other things discussed. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the game that we all love to hate. Hi guys, how you doing, Wolfie?
Doing good. Just pinging my server because apparently we've officially started Tribe Talks. So we gotta say that we went live.
We've officially started Tribe Talks today. And Karth is stuffing his face, so I mean he doesn't want to.
Yeah. I'll be. I mean, this is auditory, right? People just want to listen.
Yeah,
to how they
Karth
want.
is like,
Get
in
on
a
to my
minute.
Did this just become a... No, I don't even want to say that.
Mm-mm.
Nope,
Yeah.
not even saying it. Anyways.
I think for episode 100 of the Tribe Talks, we're going to do a mukbang. And
I thought we were gonna go for like ASMR.
oh, maybe
That's
we'll
what I
do
was
that
just saying, but I
for
didn't want you to-
episode 69.
All right,
Maybe.
well.
I mean, it's
Haven't we
thematic.
passed that already?
No, this is 50.
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Who knew? We are
keeping
nearly
track.
at officially 1 year's worth of Tribe. I mean, Tribe Talks has been going longer for a year, but we haven't done a year's worth of Tribe Talks. If that makes sense, we haven't done enough for one episode of Tribe Talks per week of the year.
There you go.
Yeah.
What?
Providing quality.
There are
content.
52 weeks in a year, and we've done 50 episodes, and fuck.
Numbers!
num- numbers-
Where's
I've done
the
too
GIF
many-
with all the numbers flying by. We need that now.
Yeah.
I need that as my background.
And let's be honest, I think we've all done a little bit too much math in the recent weeks of SWGoH, calculating experience points required for episode tracks and all that sort of finangly, and then people yelling at me because they're like, "Yeah, but," like, shut up with your butts, dude. I'm not here to say it's good or bad. I'm here to
no.
say this is what you need. Not my fault. So yeah. Annual maths.
No.
It's better than annual maths.
This is 100% that you have unilateral control at CG of what they produce and how they produce it,
I mean, that's true.
and you're just trying to get everyone pissed off. What you're
That
really
is-
hoping for, I think, is a long run here, is you're hoping all your GAC opponents quit the game,
Yeah.
and that way you just go on like a
Mid-GAC.
12-0 streak. Yeah, mid
Yeah.
GAC. That's what you're hoping for. That's
I-
why
I-
he's doing this for the player base. He
It
just
is.
wants them to all quit.
It is, and I wish it happened to my opponent on Friday because I might not have had the cleanest. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but I dropped a couple of battles in GAC. I'm not sure why that could be.
Really?
And yeah, couple of battles. And then I couldn't full clear against his Captain Enoch team on the back wall. And then I woke up, and then I was sober, and I was like, oh, it's just Captain Enoch. So I killed it. And then I tied. Exactly same banner points, but he has 1.3 million more GP than me. So I was like, I guess I lose.
Yeah.
So
I
lost.
mean, take some consolidation, go get $10 worth of crystals, and forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was considering that, but then I just cried into my metrics on Twitch, looking at all of the subs that we had for that day, and I was like, okay, I guess it's not so bad.
Hashtag worth it. Like, oh no, I lost a few crystals.
Oh no, I'm down fucking 500 and something crystals or 600 crystals.
Whatever will we do?
Oh no, I'm up 500 subs. Oh no.
What a rough
Anyway.
November it's been. I mean, all right.
That stream was fucking mental.
Yeah, that was a little bit absurd.
Like, you know, it's bad when you actually complete an entire R9 sub goal in a day.
You completed 2.
Well, yeah, but I mean, one was like 100 away, which I know that sounds crazy because normally we don't get 100 subs in a month, let alone in a stream. But we were like, one was kind of mostly there, and then this one started, and I think it was 10 minutes in, and GLD was like, here, 100 subs. I was like, fuck. And then we landed on Ewok Scout, and I tried my hardest for us to not land on Ewok Scout, but it happened. And then GLD took offense and decided, you know what, fuck that, you're doing him now. And just was like, 100 subs, 100 subs, 100 subs. I was like, no!
So,
I mean, there was a killer deal on. There's a killer deal on subs.
Buy one, get one free on R9 sub goals.
No. It's
there's a 35% off.
It's
like,
35% off.
Right now.
Yeah, it's like $110. Like $110 cheaper to gift 100 subs.
Ah, see,
So
I wasn't
like,
aware of that.
It was basically like he could gift 400 subs, and the last 100 were technically free.
Which is exactly what he did.
Yeah, so he was just like having a grand old time.
It was. Yeah, so was I. It was a wonderful, wonderful evening. It's really what the irritating thing is, as all streamers will know, is that it's like, it's great. Now you have to wait until the 15th of the next month to see any of that money. So I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Hey, positives here. Okay.
Positives is there's still one more Friday left in the month.
No, not that, you wanker.
Oh, is it
No
positives?
GAC on Friday.
Woohoo!
No, you're gonna get your payout right before all the holiday specials start.
Oh, that's a good call.
I'm gonna need it for
I'm
all
just-
the R9s I have to do. Apparently.
That's true, but I'm just saying, like,
Are you
leading
gonna be
into
able
Christmas is like the 12 days of just endless packs.
Yeah.
Are you going to be
Hopefully a
able
lot
to
of
get
them
the
are
2
R9.
Relic 9s in the next week?
I've done Lord Vader. Lord Vader is done.
God, Lord Vader was a freaking Relic 9.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was. It was brilliant.
Oh my
And he was
God.
Relic
Yeah,
8
you
already,
deserve-
so it was
yeah,
just
you-
like,
you-
bloop.
Yeah, you're not allowed to complain about Scout. All right, you got freaking Lord Vader. No complaining around.
I can still
Listen,
complain about fucking Scout.
I'm
dude.
still convinced the Lord Vader one was rigged. Okay,
It wasn't.
Convinced.
I don't. Hey,
We
if I've gone
never saw the
Scout-
metrics.
We never gone. If we went from Scout to Tebow, they are not rigged. You think I would willingly let that shit happen?
No. I think what happened though is when Lord Vader happened, you were still sober enough to keep your finger on the scale. By the time Scout happened, you were hosed.
And to be fair, I did have Ezra exile before that, so I guess this is take the good with the bad.
All I'm saying is that when you were finished Scout and you were trying to crowdsource from everybody on how to vote for the next one,
Yeah.
you were just like blundering confused on like how to go about it, and it was just like, well, what do we do? Do we just take what was previous? Do we vote
Yeah.
again? Like what do you guys want? And then like I think Night Fox was like Tebow, and then it just circled out of it.
We decided to just give it to GLD. Yeah, we just said GLD, you pick, and he was like, Tebow looking good. I was like, fuck.
Hey, whoa, roll it back. Isn't Tebow a tank?
I don't know.
I don't
Does
think
anybody
so.
know what tags Tebow has apart from
I
Ewok?
think he's a support. Isn't he a support?
I think he's got the
No,
trash
he's a
panda
tank.
tag.
He's a tank tag. Yeah, he's a tank. That's gonna be mint money.
But he's not, he doesn't taunt
sort
or
of.
anything. He doesn't do shit.
He's
like Paplu's
He
the
stealths. He
tank.
stealths
Oh my God,
himself.
So... oh, good. So he's the opposite of a tank.
Yeah,
lovely.
He's a coward.
He's the Juhani style tank.
He's the Juhani of the Ewoks, basically.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Listen. CG's gonna put an Omicron on him, and he's gonna make Ewoks great again. So,
a tank. Oh, that is so dumb.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's gonna be great. I love all of this. This plan sounds fantastic. I support and endorse this now.
Karth has just got a boner for any tank.
I do. I like the stats.
I think next time we hit a
bad.
sub goal, we just have to be. It has to be a Galactic Legend. That's going to be the new rule. Everybody will be like, well, I mean, I'm going to do that anyway. To be fair, I'm definitely, as soon as I get Ahsoka, she's going to Relic 9 if I have the actual mats. But it's happening. No, GL, I'm not banned. No.
I still got to do my other Ahsoka's to Relic 9. I only have Fulcrum. I still got to do Cat and Snips, but otherwise,
yeah,
I am ready to go for the journey guide. I got the Huge Wang up in Relics already.
Oh,
I'm at 95 out of 100 on Huge Wang today, and I'm just like, just give me the 5 more.
Yeah,
I got one more day. Yeah.
Just spend 1,300 crystals. Come on, like, ain't no thing. You've got plenty.
I do right now, but I want to make sure I keep on having
It's such
plenty.
a waste of crystals, man.
It really is.
Oh, I know. I'm not arguing the point. I just like
so yeah,
incentivized violence.
You just need Cat, Snips,
Against
and
Scribe's Crystal
Hera,
Horde.
is it? Hey, Anthony, how you doing, buddy? So
What's up?
you need Cat, Snips, and Hera when she drops, is it? And then you're done.
Yeah. So the my other two Ahsokas are both at Relic 8. So they're both.
Yeah.
One
Oh,
more
yeah. So they're
level.
basically there.
I've just been holding off and giving them the last one just because it's so freaking expensive on all the signal data and everything. And we've
100%.
needed so much signal data just all around the game.
Yeah.
The Baillan requirements. I mean, Baillan himself, all the great mothers. Like, there's been a lot of stuff recently.
Dude, I was
We
actually
need them all at
surprised that they let us have Hera at Relic 5.
Yeah,
I was so sure that was going to be R7.
Well, I mean, we
yeah.
were saying a little bit on Friday, you're gonna bring her to Relic 7 anyways.
You are,
Could
100%.
bring her to Relic 8.
It's like
Minimum, in
Bausch
my
was
opinion.
required at Relic, Relic 5 for Jabba.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. You bring her up to Relic 8 regardless because she's a badass character.
Yeah.
I have no idea what tag she's gonna be. You know, I figure she might end up being a. What do you
Leader.
think she's gonna be? A support?
Probably. I was leader, support, Spectre.
Well,
Don't know
leader,
what
do you
else.
think that she's gonna be?
I think she's going to be a temporary leader for Spectre before people get Ahsoka.
Okay.
So-
And then
so
also
that-
maybe like a 3v3 break off, so you can lead. some
Exactly.
with her.
So I wouldn't be surprised if she actually gets a leader Omicron for GAC, so that you can use her in 3s with Hu Yang and Chopper. So
Okay. Yeah, that
General
makes sense.
Syndulla, Hu Yang, Chopper, 3v3 Omicron, and then you'll still have GL Ahsoka with Ezra and Sabine. So
Yeah, that
it
makes
might
sense.
not be. Like we did talk about, she might have a raid Omicron, but they haven't announced the Peridia raid, so it wouldn't make sense right now.
I highly doubt it.
Hmm.
I highly doubt she has a raid Omicron. It's too far out.
Sol. Hera's getting the first MILF tag. We've already got one MILF. Well, actually, we've got like 3 MILFs.
What do you mean it's too far out?
The Peridia raid.
The prettier raid.
Well, how many months
Like, they
in
might-
advance did they announce that the Gungan was getting a raid Omicron before the actual raid came out? Like, it didn't actually give him the
But-
Omicron until the raid
But
was
didn't
announced.
we actually know the raid was coming first though? Like before the
Well, I'm saying
Gungans
they
dropped?
could, but they could use this to announce the raid.
Oh yeah, 100%. They could. Yeah. So it's like
could.
in a week and a half's time when
Yeah.
Hera drops, they could be like, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, she'll have a new raid Omicron for the new raid that's coming out and give the announcement then. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just speculating here, but there's always a chance.
I'm more the mindset of what Sig proposed, which
that?
is that the mercenary tag will be the next raid, and it won't be Peridia.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, a lot of the new mercenaries are on Peridia anyways, so.
Well, I know, but all of the next episode or the next era is all the new Bad Batch, and they're going to all be mercenaries.
So it could be
So it
a
feels-
Zillo Beast raid.
It could be a lot of things, but it seems like they're going to, in my head, is that mercenary might be the way that they run it.
It would feel weird for me to find that not include the newest GL.
Well, but they didn't with the current raid.
Yeah, we had.
I mean, they didn't. They didn't
we
give
had
us
Gungans,
GLs
didn't we?
for.
Well,
Naboo.
But we didn't
Leia
have
already
any
had her
gel.
own raid though.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when
Yeah.
Leia came out, she had a raid.
Yeah.
When
I
Jabba came
get
out,
ya.
he had his own raid. You know, it feels weird for them to not include the newest GL in the newest raid and try and force you to farm that GL. Like that seems like a huge misplay if they're not actually doing that. And that's the biggest
and
thing
this
that
GL
about
is
the newest
super
Marquee.
expensive too.
All the relic
Yeah,
nines, like how do they not?
I feel like they're just putting it as unobtainable to the common man. I guess that's my way of phrasing it. Is because there is no way that 80% of the player base can obtain her any kind of decency before the raid is gone. Like it doesn't make sense to me. You know, if you don't have Cat now, it's going to take you a while to get Cat. If you don't have all the marquees, there's 6 marquees and a second and a second conquest unit that's going to be needed for that. It's just and then the R9s, everything else that goes with it. It just
like maybe the team will do something without her, and then like they'll have enough other teams where you'll be able to get something.
Yeah,
done.
they'll pull they'll pull
but that's the problem.
Battle
Is
for
Spectre
Naboo thing, right? they'll have General Hera as being the ideal leader.
Oh my god, yeah,
and
that doesn't seem likely either.
And then GL Ahsoka Tano will be like a solo or short man victory one. I have my doubts.
I don't know.
I have
I
my
hear
doubts.
what you're saying.
I don't think it makes
but, yeah.
sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like Ahsoka's power level is going to be so goddamn. It already is. You look at what Ezra's capable of doing without Ahsoka. You're looking at what Hugh Yang's capable of doing without Ahsoka. You're looking at what Sabine's capable to do without Ahsoka. Ahsoka's going to just make this go ballistic, and
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I think this is CG placating the top spenders in the game, going, "Here's your fancy toy that if you put this on defense, anybody without it is stuck." I think that's what they're doing.
Dark Side Vision Ray comes in and just beats everything anyway. Like that's
I
actually
mean,
the
I
one
think
thing
it's
for
gonna
me
be-
that is like kind of points to how crazy the power level of GL Ahsoka is going to be. Because if they're releasing this lifter unit for Slacker that is this fucking good, I dread to think how good GL Ahsoka Tano is going to be. Because there's no way they release a brand new Galactic Legend and it gets dog walked by the very first GL with a new lifter unit. Like that would just they can't do that.
Dog walked? I don't think it'll get dog walked. I think it'll be messy. I think Slacker Ray will still beat it, but I think it'll get messy. But that's going to be the advantage to a degree of the team. But it just depends on the full kit interactions and how much Exile takes advantage. Because if Slacker can't pass advantage to the team, then you're gonna blow apart First Order very quickly, because you can critically hit them now because they can only get advantage on their own turn by their own abilities. They can't get it from somewhere else.
You can gain turn.
There's a lot of things that are gonna really, really mess with that. So I don't know. I think it'll get messy, but it's possible. But I really hope
Katana's unique. Enemy can't crit. Shit.
Well, I mean, you already know that that they're setting up for Thrawn. Like they're building these characters to deal with GL Thrawn. You can see that already because these characters have so much ramping offense for no real good reason, like hundreds of percentage points increase in offense total. And the only reason that makes sense is because Enoch says you have minus 450% critical chance. So you have to just beat through an Enoch team with sheer blunt force.
Yeah. This is like that's to be clear to everybody at home. This is what we've always assumed, is that Enoch is a temporary leader for Imperial Remnant until GL Thrawn comes to the game. And then GL Thrawn will go with Enoch and probably Night Trooper and Death Trooper Peridia +1.
Yeah, but probably a triple army GAC character, or a triple army. I can't think conquest unit. But there's also a reason why that minus 450% critical chance is on his unique and not his leadership.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like this is why they're ramping that team up, and so that we are now stepping into this kind of this new tier of of GL that is going to be more powerful, and then what hopefully CG does next for the next few conquest units and legendaries is bringing out triple Omni characters to then lift up the original GLs like they're doing with Slacker, and they've done with C with the Bane lifter, that we actually get like their other.
You mean Bane on his own team? But sorry, go on.
I think after this, you're going to have to start squishing C and Bane together. You're not really going to have a choice to do some counters.
They're like, you will use C as Bane as the C lifter.
I mean, you're not wrong. You might need to start doing some power condensing. If they don't expand the GAC board and you can start making all these ridiculous freaking power teams, then you might need to respond by doing some power teams yourself. I mean,
well, it's not the first time we've had to do that, but it definitely won't be the last. You know, it's what happens with like JML, right? JML keeps taking the best Jedi every time. We need a power condense for it. You don't split them up as much, but I'm pretty confident that they're going to do that. That they're going to go back and do this, because otherwise, like, Bane was nutty. Everyone agreed Bane was nutty, but Bane doesn't really live with C at the moment. There's not really a need for it.
No. And generally speaking,
Dark Vision Ray
there aren't actually that many
massive.
In my experience, there aren't even that many teams on defense right now where C Bane actually has a better win ratio than just Bane with a tank. You know, like it doesn't seem to be quite enough in a lot of scenarios.
There's a couple, but it's like C Bane does better versus Leia. C Bane does better versus Jabba. You know, there's a few things in there where C Bane is needed to deal with certain teams and aspects, but it's never been like a hard requirement. There's always other options, but I think moving forward, you're going to get to a point where it's just like, nah, dog. Like, if you want to do anything, you're going to have to start power condensing. Like, C's going to need to like take Sith Empire or Bane to go do anything useful with this new freaking First Order buff. It's just going to be so nutty.
Yeah, it's such a huge lifter. Her kit is absolutely insane. And, you know, that first special, I know we spoke about it before, but that first special is probably one of the coolest looking abilities in the game. It looks sick.
They did so good with the animations over there, like the phasing. You're talking about the phasing thing, where like it leaves like the mirror, like oh my god.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, so good.
It is really cool.
So good. Like the little shadow images. Oh yes, please.
In fairness, my only complaint is the basic. I don't think she should swing.
I remember you saying this.
With it folded in half.
Oh yeah, I was saying that lightsaber looks so awkward to use.
Yeah, it's aesthetically, I don't like it folded in half. I wish she would like move towards them and like mid swing flip it out.
Oh yes,
and then like hit once, hit twice, and then come back and hit. But like, it's not the end of the world. It's just for me, like, you would never attack with that saber folded in half that way. Like in my head, it doesn't make any sense. But
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I think they should have done the basic. Is she just runs at them like it's a pair of shears and just that clearly would have been the best way of doing it.
There is precedence for like weapons with two blades, parallel to each other.
Is there?
So yes, they can do like a lot of fucking damage if you could like do a piercing attack with something like that. You try and close up the one wound, and it fucking opens up the other one. You try and close that. Like it's like really, really it's some fucked up stuff. But there is a precedence over there for like in historical weapons of war for like a double bladed weapon like that. So I can sort of see it over there, but just like the way the hilts are like kind of together, it just looks so awkward to hold the thing.
It does.
It's like what the hell is going on with this? I don't know. It just looks kind of strange. Otherwise, freaking love it. I'm with Karth though. If the basic was like flip it out, stab, whatever, and then like have it flip back as she's like retreating. Oh my god, that would have been so cool. Holy crap! Like do some like some butterfly knife shit going on over there. Holy crap, make it happen.
Side note, I know there's been a lot of discussion around what we're going to call Darkside Ray, but I'm totally going to call her Bay for Baddie Ray. That's how it's going to be. Let's bring out Bay. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, fair enough.
I love it. I love it. So, shall we talk just a little bit then about recent controversies and the make good that CG have issued to the player base?
How dare you try and be reasonable? No, I want to
all your fault. It's all your fault.
Everything that's my fault in the game.
Enough.
Yeah.
You caused this.
Not good enough.
I just don't want it to be an echo chamber. I want to know your thoughts on it, because it seems like basically they gave us a day's worth of XP and rewards, essentially. You know, they everybody's getting that back, provided they played the game on the day. That sounds like a bottle of Woodford being opened. I'd know that sound anyway.
You are goddamn right it is.
I mean, I can make the same sound, but it's empty. So, makes me sad.
That's a sad sound.
It's a sad. Oh, it's empty. So yeah, they basically gave us a day free, but also gave 25k episode experience, which is 5 levels, 5 free levels. That's to everybody that's level 85 and above. That's a significant. That's 10% of the entire XP you need for one day. I think that's pretty good in general.
I think that was a decent for the make good.
Yeah, and then they've upped essentially how much XP we get. I had somebody in my chat, in my comments section, actually say, "Scribe, stop calling it experience points. It's not experience points. It's episode points." I was like,
dude, there's so many new fucking terminologies and shit. Like, can you give us a second? Like, we're not gonna get it exactly right every freaking time. Like, guys, come on, breathe.
It's like the only people that can get
every now and then. Holy crap!
The only people that can earn episode points are people that are level 85, and level 85 means you can't get experience points. I think you understand what I mean when I say episode experience.
Come on,
like, cut me some slack. Just a little bit, please.
I don't know.
No, fuck you, Scribe. Get it right, but don't say it at all.
You wanna be a content creator, you gotta be right on the terminology.
You gotta be perfect all the fucking time. Yeah. So episode points. They've increased the amount of episode points that you get from just doing your daily objectives. Used to be 300, now you get 350. So every day you get about an extra 350 episode points, which works out at basically an extra 2 levels over the 28 days if you're doing every day, which is okay. I mean, it's just more shit. It's like, there you go, you get more stuff for doing nothing, for doing the same thing you do every day anyway. So it's okay. And then they sort of reshifted all of the amount of episode points that we get from doing GC feats. We get more points overall from doing GC feats now, but they've also bottom loaded it. So the earlier tiers are worth more than the higher tiers. Which I think is fine, but I think that doesn't really address the issues that the player base has. I think people are more pissed off that they go into a Galactic Challenge, they see that there are feats they can't complete because they haven't bought the episode pass. What do you guys think about it? What do you think is the solution here?
I'll say we've been so accustomed to the GCs working the same way for so long, where, you know, you go in, you do your feats, whatever, you claim it at the end, you complete that, you get your Omicrons, you're done with it. It's a very new system with that, and I think we're like one of the biggest complaints, which I think is actually a pretty valid complaint, is that the communication about how this was going to work and how the rewards was going to change and how that was going to actually happen wasn't really all that effective. We had 2 people in my guild rage quit on the day of, because they were like, they're requiring you to get your 7-star Marquee in order to complete the GC, in order to get your Omicrons. Fuck this shit, I'm out. And they just dipped. Like, legitimately 2 people that day. Cool, I'm done. Through I'm selling my mods, I'm out of here.
Wow, it's huge.
Didn't come back. Yeah, so the communication, I think, was a giant misplay on their part.
Yeah, it's just 100%. Because
like,
all I was going to say is, like, as much as you can't really blame them for losing their shit immediately after seeing it, like, there's an element of maybe they should have, like, actually looked at it first to see what it meant. But the problem is that
huge
that
overreaction.
That's on CG though, for not making it clear.
Yes.
It's so unclear what we have to do, why we're doing stuff, what impacts what, and how this, like, because it goes over an entire month now. Nobody knows what so they see the fact that they can't do like 3 out of 4 feats, and they're saying CG wants me to wail on a 7-star Marquee day 1. They won to get these. Like, obviously, people are going to lose their shit.
That's what it seems like.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. At face value, if unless you actually dig into things, and like you were saying, oh my god, I've been doing so much freaking math recently. Are they really expecting the entire player base to go through and figure out, oh, what is this, and this is changing, and this is over here? Like, that's on them, man. they got to be a little bit better about communicating that stuff, as opposed to depending on people like you to go through and do all the math for them and figure out, hey, look, player base, here's what the actual difference is, here's the actual changes.
It's painful.
It would be a little bit better, it'll have a little bit of goodwill with the community by actually sharing that stuff and explaining, we're not screwing you here, this is what's actually happening.
And maybe even having like a week. I know, well, maybe, I was saying maybe they should have like asked for player feedback first before pushing this sort of thing live. But then it occurs to me that apparently the vast majority of the player base doesn't look at the forums, doesn't engage in content creators. You know, we're actually the minority
we
here.
are the minority, 100%. So
they're probably looking at that and thinking, we're actually not going to get much feedback that's valuable because we're getting like less than 10% of the player base actually engaged. But still, it would feel a little bit nicer if they went out and said, look, this is our proposal. What do you think? And then, you know, the community could say, actually, this fucking sucks.
Which I think they're listening to the feedback, and I'm hoping they will make changes and whatnot in the future, which we've already gone over. They've already made some changes by front loading some of the stuff, by making a few little things over there. So that's good, and I'm happy that they're doing stuff like that. You know, please do more in the future. But the initial launch was definitely left a lot to be desired.
Oh
which
my
seems
god,
to be a theme with CG. Like anytime something comes out, it's like the initial launch is just always complete shit, and then after a few months, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this wasn't nearly as bad as we thought it was going to be. Yeah, like
it's the same with raids, right? Was it the crate dragon raid?
Oh, dude, the raid changes. Yeah, it was like everybody up in the air, throwing the sky is falling. What's gonna happen? And then it turned out being pretty damn good. And now I have all of the gear ever, and it's like I got 1,500 Carbantis sitting around.
That raid change was huge. That was so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. I understand why people were like, "Meh," at first, because, you know, it needed a little bit of fine tuning. But after that, after they fixed it, it was actually so good for the player base. So very good. I love having. Hang on. How many Carbantis do I have right now? I've been trying to build up enough to make sure that I can just gear it. I have 3,065 Carbanti. Nice. I think I need to hit like something like 4,000 Carbantis, and then I'm like, I have all the gear I need to get everybody in my account. All the gear apart from there'll be other bits of gear, but it's like basically everything that I need for gear. And I'm like, I want to get to that point, and I want to try and relic the entire roster. Yeah. But CG, for some reason, they just keep on releasing new characters, man, and it really hurts my development.
Even with the sorry, go on.
No, that was it. That was just me.
Okay. Even with the raid, they've been listening to some stuff, like the initial with the crate dragon over there. Remember when it was like 3 freaking days, and you had to sit there horrible. Like, oh god, it was awful.
Yeah,
it was painful.
I would like that raid a hell of a lot more if it was on a 6-day cycle.
Yes.
Like it was burnout, man. It was total burnout for me.
100%.
Painful. And now we have. Could you imagine if Battle for Naboo was on a 3-day cycle?
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. I'm out. Sorry.
Oh my god.
No. Go lie down now.
I just threw up a little in my mouth. It's just like so very painful. I don't know, Karth, what are your thoughts on the changes here that CG made, and just general thoughts about the update?
Overall, I think they're fine. They're an improvement on the old system that we have, but you know, that's through my communication that I've had with CG in the past when it comes to trying to communicate things. As far as I can tell, it's just a lost cause on them trying to communicate anything to the player base because, like you said, so very few of the players actually engage with the forums, with anything outside of what shows up in game, that whenever they do anything that's an overhaul, you're always going to have players upset about what they're doing. And so I think they just had to take the gamble on the blowback and go from there. But, you know, honest to God, I just feel like sometimes, you know, people just get, it's going to sound incredibly harsh, but I think they're just idiots. They get knee-jerk reactions. They just get knee-jerk reactions.
How you really feel.
It's so
just
stupid,
a bunch
though.
of dicks.
You get a knee-jerk reaction to something, and then you just let your emotions roll over everything, and you don't even process something logically. You don't try to find information. You just go online and bitch about it. And it's just like, okay, but you're not trying to figure out what happened. You're not trying to figure out where it goes. There is not a good way CG could have effectively communicated that information to the average player and not have blowback. There's not a way they could have done it. Mm-hmm. Because the forum update they gave us gave a fairly good breakdown of what was changing and what was happening. And I read it, I understood it, I got what was going on. But, you got players that are like, well, what's happened with this? Where's this going? You got people that are blowing up the Facebook page about, well, I did my Galactic Challenges and the daily feed came out at 11 o'clock that, was to complete my Galactic Challenges. Now I miss them. It's like, well, you have the entire month. Like, granted, some of those things, you could have done pop-ups in the game that explain some things and how it goes. Mm-hmm. But it's just the knee-jerk reaction to things changed and I'm unhappy about that now. And now I must voice my unhappiness about the change. And then like a month later, everyone's going to be happy about it. It was the same thing with the assault battles that, we're going to rotate some out. It's like, listen, if they give us one assault battle, let's say the next era, the Bad Batch era, gives us another assault battle. Let's say that's what the event that they're going to give us for that era. Mm-hmm. If that comes with giving you 50 of each signal data every time that rolls around, every each tier, so it gives 150 total, 50 of each tier. Every single person is going to be just floored with that result and never care about the old assault battles ever again. Yeah. It's like it's just a time and distance thing, and I feel like just the irate response to it is so.
I think with the assault battles, it just feels bad to be taking rewards away, and that's always what it feels like. It's like I've invested in these teams to get this assault battle once a month, and I have a guaranteed income that I know I can depend on from running this assault battle team. And early game, that really does make a freaking difference. You actually specifically, there's a couple content creators who will focus on the early game accounts, and they'll say, build up this team for assault battles and build up this team for assault battles because this is a constant income of gear and stuff that you need, which is good. And losing that as an early game player, that definitely hurts. So, I mean, that's definitely not nothing. So it always feels bad when they're and taking rewards away in effect, because that's sort of what they're doing. So.
Yeah. No, I get that portion of it, but the over-under on it is the new assault battle structure is infinitely better
for long term. For endgame players,
for all players, long term, it is a better structure.
It's a better structure, but it's in the interim. Like early game players, mid game players are not going to have new marquee characters. Yes. They're certainly not going to have them at Relic 7, 8, 9, probably not even Relic 5.
You can double that back at the same point and go. They're not going to have Inquisitors. They're not going to have Jedi that's strong up to the tier. They're not going to have the Bounty Hunters, the Imperial Troopers. They're not going to have the factions. So it's like
they work on those specifically. Saying they go.
I understand
to work
that
on those ones for early game accounts to get that stuff.
I like the Duel of the Fates one because it's just 2 characters and they're easy to farm. It's a bit harder when you do 3 characters that are not easy to farm because they're not Cantina characters, and they also are not that great of a team. Whereas the Queenie team is actually pretty damn good. I also need
but the Queenie team requires Queenie, and if you don't have Queenie, then the 2 Jedi the Poncho Bros don't do much of anything outside of that team. They're not designed for it per se. Yeah. So I get the point of you're taking rewards away, but
from our perspective as an end game player, I mean, it works out better for me, 100%. No, I gotta take a step back and recognize that for a lot of the player base, this definitely feels really bad.
Yeah, but at what point do you draw the line on an account not having access to certain things? Because it's that's where my head
access to it, and then you took it away.
They might have, they might have, and they didn't. It's not gone. It's just not going to be there every month.
Well, it's effectively gone. It's gone,
and you don't know. Yeah, but they're going to trade. So what happens to the first one? Something that you can't even participate in. Do you care? No. So it's
regardless, like I said, the point is that they've taken rewards away from people who had invested in teams to get those rewards. They can no longer depend on those rewards every month. It might be here this month, it might not be here this month, and then you're like, oh no, I just wasted an entire month working on this team, and I should have worked on this team, and it's just, I mean, like Rokaran said in chat, taking monthly awards away from that have been the monthly for 6 years is not going to make people happy in no world. Like no matter
they'll never
what
be
way
happy
you want to serve it, no matter which way you serve it, there's no way that's just going to make anybody happy.
Oh no, you're not.
Those rewards.
You're not going to make them happy,
like,
but at the same time, I feel
argument, but yeah.
But at the same time, I think the fallacy is that you're building teams for assault battles. Like that's not where the rewards are in the game.
But they
just made that incredibly clear that that's not where they want to prioritize rewards.
They
do provide them, yes, but they're not to make them the focus of an account's progress seems like a fallacy.
For
like it's just
early
not
games.
To be fair, I've never subscribed to the whole. You should build when you're a new game account. You should build these guys to hit the assault battles. I've always been a case of you should get this GL. As part of this GL, you will actually be able to do this assault battle, and that's like an icing. That's not the focus, because I suppose that's just my mindset. Is you will actually get the teams you need for assault battles by chasing meta teams in general and Galactic Legends. I'd rather people do it that way.
A lot of people will recommend like building teams for assault battles. Get some troopers up, get your rebels up, get something like that up and going. Because it is a reliable source of income of gear and everything, and has been for a long time. I get what you're saying, Card. They want to move that gear and income and all that stuff to other places away from the assault battles. I got you 100%. I hear you, but again, it just no matter which way you slice it, they're taking away rewards that people have been depending on for a long time. It's like, oh, there's better sources. It's still a source. It is whatever.
No, I'm with you.
It's still a thing. So
yeah, I'm with you. But I guess in my head, the way I look at it is that you could only be outraged over something for so long for that was free.
Mm-hmm.
It's where my head ends up going. It's like I understand that it was something that you got, but it's. There are countless games that have done similar things where they just go, well, we're done supporting this,
and then it's gone forever.
Oh yeah, I got you.
It's gone forever,
and it pisses people the fuck off, and it's always like, why the hell would you do this to yourself? This is a really dumb idea, and people get angry and leave the game. And it never results in a good. It never turns out.
And 9 years later, the game is still one of the most profitable mobile games of all time. So it's like it clearly doesn't really matter what the player base thinks because they still make money.
But how much more money could they be making?
Yeah.
Right?
Not many, because if you're pissing off free-to-play players, what the title of that category doesn't pay you.
But if it increases the standing of the game and brings in more spenders and everything, more players is always good for a game. It's always good for the player base. I mean, there's never really a bad thing. So I mean, the game needs free-to-play players in order to survive. So,
it does. You do need both.
There's no benefit to driving players away in any fucking world. So.
I don't think you're driving away enough with the changes, though, for it to substantially matter. Like, I don't think you're going to have the players that just don't care at all, and you're going to have the players that get upset and irate and they leave after their rants. Uh-huh. Like, okay. Well, we've seen that with every major change that CG's done since the invention of Datacrons.
I think it's probably even.
You lose a percentage of the player base. Everyone else adapts, adjusts, and moves along, and that's what happens.
But I'm saying, what if they take some more of that shit into account, and instead of losing a giant chunk of the player base every time they do an update, they may be like, don't lose a chunk of the player base every time they do an update. That's a novel idea.
It's a novel idea, but it's literally impossible, going back to the fact that you can't communicate the changes well enough to not upset anybody.
So it's not.
You're always going
to need to communicate better.
There's also the fact that we don't really I'm pretty sure Galaxy of Heroes also doesn't pull in a whole lot of new players, and that's a little bit concerning for the long-term health of the game, because if we do keep losing players and we don't really build new players.
Bad.
It's that's a little bit worrying. I know somebody in the chat earlier today also mentioned the loss of Zeta mats. I've spoken to CG about this directly, and I've told them they should introduce. All they'd have to do, if they were rotating out one assault battle in a 28-day period, because that's what we're losing. You just add 2 Zetas. That's the missing Zetas. 2 Zeta mats in a 1 month period. Obviously, If it gets to the point that we've got another new assault battle, then we're losing 2 on that cycle, then they need to add another 2 Zeta mats again into that. They could put it in as an additional reward into like the episode track free to play. I could front load it. Very tier 1, you get an additional 2 Zeta mats to make up for that Zeta loss. I know it stings to lose out on Zetas on a month, but that's 2 Zetas, 2 Zeta mats, 10% of a Zeta over a 28-day period. It does suck, but it's manageable. It's like it's not nice. It's not nice, but what I'm saying is like all CG have to do is add it in. But I think the problem is what will happen is if they do actually add, let's say we get an extra 4 Zeta mats on tier 1 of the episode track going forward in the month, people will see that, they'll take that, and then they'll still bitch about there's no assault battles. You know, like the assault battles is lost, even if they've regained their Zeta mats. I think that's the danger. Even if there is a small amount of rewards that have been reintroduced into the game, or they add 2 Zeta mats into assault battles, it would still be looked at as we've still lost out on our ability to complete historic assault battles. And again, let me point out, I'm not defending the choice to rotate out assault battles. I personally think it should just stay there all the time. But whatever, like I'm just trying to understand the anger around the loss of 2 Zetas over a 28-day period. It's. I
think the best thing would be like, you know how great they are doing pop-ups like for their fucking sales and shit, like come and whale on our packs and everything.
Yeah.
Have a fucking pop-up which says, "Hey guys, we're taking care of you. We're giving you this because we took this away. Look, we're looking out for you. Hey guys, we're helping you." Like something. They're good at the pop-ups. We know they have the technology
oh my God.
to do the pop-ups.
Do you remember the times when they first figured out those advert pop-ups? And it used to be like every single time you came out of a screen, it was just like pop-up. You close it, another pop-up. It's like, fuck. It was so annoying, man.
Like, how? I don't get it. But yeah, just have a pop-up saying, "Hey, look, guys, we heard you. We're listening to you. We're changing this. So we're adding more Omicrons. We're adding more Zetas. We're doing whatever. So people who aren't looking at the fucking forum will see the pop-up and they can't miss it."
Yeah.
If people aren't looking at the forums, whatever, that's how you get better at communicating. Put stuff in games so you can't miss it. You know, don't give us a full
DC
fucking
Born
essay post over there.
DC Born, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, 2 Zetas over a year is 24 Zetas, but if they give you an extra 2 Zetas in level 1 of the episode track, every month, you have those Zetas back. You don't lose them. Like, they're still there. You get 24 Zetas that way. That's what I'm saying. But I think that the danger of that is people will look at that as just, oh, that's a standard part of the rewards, not a make good for the fact that they can't do the new assault battle. You know what I mean?
No, I got you.
Yeah.
It's just, they definitely need to balance, I guess, with the communication of how much in your face they're going to be, and then just realize that some people will always... Because I guess at the end of the day, there will be a percentage of the population which just will be angry with anything, no matter how well you communicate. So that's just I want to reiterate,
I don't like them removing the assault battles. I would much prefer it if you bring in a new assault battles. That's just extra stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I would prefer. I want more stuff. I have the teams. I would love to keep on having that. CG doesn't want to do it. I don't know. Maybe they look at it as a case of we need to control the in-game economy, or we want to force people to gear new shit. Like, I don't like it as much as you guys. I'm just trying to think of solutions, not think of problems. I can't just bitch about the game. It doesn't help anybody to just bitch. I'm trying to think of solutions.
So Vash is saying that they want to, they need to drive sales to another bottleneck and everything. I would point out that we are looking at the year of the overload of marquees coming up very shortly.
Oh God!
I mean, with every couple of weeks, there's going to be a new marquee, and then a new this and a new that, and it's going to be on freaking overload. Like we really need.
I don't think we'll see more than we saw this year. This year was still a lot, but I don't think we'll see more than that.
I mean, it was from March. That's basically what we've experienced, more or less. More or less, we've had basically a new marquee every 2 weeks.
Couple with three weeks. Yeah,
there was a couple long gaps.
Yeah. But apart from that, it's almost been like clockwork. And the real sad thing is that they've also looks like galactic chases are the thing of the past, and now we're getting fleet marquees again. Because I bet you, with this kind of aggressive push that they're trying to do for marquee releases, they're going to release fleets or ships.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
I should say,
honestly-
as standard marquees again.
The last time they did the Marquee thing, I remember Meathead had gone live and was talking about it and whatnot, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, the new Marquee structure is so great and whatnot, so great for the player base and whatnot." And I posted in chat, I was like, "But the old chase was better on the Crystal Income," and
So
of
much
course
better.
got skipped over the comment. So
Yeah.
it seems like they're gonna be doubling down on.
I remember the early Galactic chases. You could get a 7-star ship for like 5k crystals, and then
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
drop
bad.
rate started to taper and taper and taper. It turned into like 8k, 9k, 10k crystals. There's still a significant amount. Don't get me wrong, but that over what is effectively 25,000 crystals for a Marquee, it was a cheap way to get a 7-star brand new unit in CG terms. Right? So losing that, in my opinion, fucking sucks. And then the $30 pack to buy the ship doesn't have Omicrons in it. I know why, because it's a ship. It doesn't have Omis.
Yeah.
But fuck you. I'm still
feels
giving you
bad,
30
man.
bucks. Charge me 20 instead. Like,
Yeah, but they've always put a premium on ship shards.
fuck ship shards. Like, it sucks, man. Oh my god, I much prefer the chases. But of course we prefer the chases because it's cheaper and easier and quicker.
Yeah.
So obviously,
I
we're
mean,
gonna
in
prefer it.
fairness, so is the new Marquee structure.
Oh god, yeah, I love the new Marquee structure. Absolutely love the new Marquee structure. I think it's brilliant. But when you have something that was better, Galactic Chases was better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
It's good, but yeah, we're coming from something better to something that is, good. So
Yeah.
feels bad, man.
I'd say yeah, I get it. The Vash, the $100 Omega bundle was possibly the worst pack I've ever seen. Oh my
And I
god!
guarantee you, they sold a lot of them.
Oh my god.
But there's Omega mats. Like, come on, dude.
Yes,
I thought
but
that was
you-
a bug.
Transport yourself back to the beginning of the game. I have an alt account right now that is sitting at 100 Omega mats.
It's not worth $100 though. No.
That is completely relative to the buyer, not
I mean,
not
that's
the
just-
individual.
Dude, yeah, come
But
on.
when you compare it to
world
the-
is that worth $100?
You compare it to the same price point Omicron Ascendancy bundle, which gives you 50 Omis and 20 Zeta mats for £95,
Seriously.
and you also get 200 Kyrotech. It's like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you.
that's far more worthwhile.
I understand
Oh
where
my
you're at.
God.
I'm just saying I can understand how that pack sells. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because at the point of it,
Oh my god!
when
I
you're
look at it, I
buying
was just like, what?
buying endless Lightspeed bundles that do
I don't
not
know,
give
man.
you Omega mats, and you have all these characters with 7-tier abilities that need Omegas to go next year, you're gonna be tempted to buy that just to finish your stupid GL teams. Like there are
Yeah.
people who will do it.
So Borrow,
crazy,
is
man.
50 Omis worth 120 euros? So
By far.
no, hang on.
I'll
hold
answer
up.
it right
Hold-
up.
That's
away.
Hold up.
entirely subjective.
It's
Oh my
entirely
God.
subjective. If you compare it to how much 10 Omis normally sells for, 10 Omis normally sells for $30, right? So you're getting essentially what is worth $150 for $100, and you also get 20 Zeta mats and 200 Kyrotech and some Omegas and 2.5 million credits and this sort of nonsense.
It is
right?
hands down their best Omicron offer that they've ever put out in the game.
Yes. I will say. I'll say
their,
that
their
It-
previous $200 pack gave you 65 Omicrons, 200 Cairo of each, and a couple of other things.
Yeah.
This, if you double this up, that's 100 Omicrons, 40 Zeta mats, and 200 Cairo for the
Mhm.
same price. Like it's 35 more Omicrons, it's 20 Zeta mats, and it's the same Kyrotech. It's like that's huge value.
Yeah.
If you're gonna
Like-
spend on Omicrons, that is worth it.
Okay, so I can understand the argument that £100 for ability mats is just like it's crazy. It's really expensive. I understand that argument.
Absurd.
I do. I'm just saying, and I think what Karth is trying to say as well, is in the context of this game and how much these mats sell for normally, this is good value. But
Yes.
if you're not going to spend
Omicrons?
$100 on Omicrons, like you're not going
Oh,
to spend $100. Like,
Did you see
it's-
though that on the Zeta Mastery bundle
No.
that they no longer roll from 10 to 40? It's just a flat 40 now.
Oh wow, okay, that's a
So
smart
for the
choice.
the same price now, but now it's a flat 40. You're guaranteed 2 Zetas.
Okay.
For $50 instead of 10 to 40. So they've changed.
That's better.
They have if they keep the Omicrons with the surge packs moving forward with the Marquee structure, though we're gonna have this massive influx of Omicrons to the player base.
I genuinely I got a semi when I saw that.
Well, so I think this is their way of addressing to a degree for those who are willing to spend on the game.
We got Meathead in the chat. Everybody can stop being mad at me and be mad at Meathead. No, I'm joking. Meathead's lovely. Don't be mad at Meathead. Hey, Meat, how you doing, buddy? Continue.
If you're taking notes, remember that we like chases for ships more than we like the Marquees because chases are better for the community. All right, if you're taking notes. Anyways, moving on.
No, just that there's a lot of things that they've done that are helping people who are spending to keep up with all the other materials that go with it, because that's the problem.
You gotta love Meathead.
Sorry. Yeah. Burns piece of paper. Move on.
No. We got to do so Meathead doesn't burn the important information. Is you got to send it on a very, very expensive Magic the Gathering card, and then he will refuse to burn the info.
Okay, so it's got to, but it'll have to be written on the sleeve, right? But then he'll just take the sleeve off. You wouldn't deface a really expensive Magic the Gathering card.
He would.
Or would you?
But yeah, I don't know. But they are doing some things.
Depends to make how hardcore you're feeling.
Better.
Yeah. Meathead, we love you, buddy. You're good people. You're good people. So yes, lots and lots of controversy. And look, guys, I can understand. And Desi, don't get me wrong, I would love it if that pack had 15 Omnis and 15 Zetas, but it's not going to. Like, it's not. Like, I would also love it if it was instead 15. If it was 150 Omnis, I'd love that. But it's not going to happen.
I mean, listen. I would love to get everything for free and never have to spend another dime in this game and just enjoy everything at max levels all the time for fun.
Do you know when you come away from an argument with somebody and then you run it through your head and you think of all the things that you could say?
Yes.
So I had after having 24 hours of flat out abuse from the community, one of the things that popped into my head was like, oh, you know what, fuck it. Instead of having an episode track and episode pass rewards, it's just day one, you log in, you claim all rewards for the month, and you just get everything. You don't have to even play the fucking game, you just press the button. Because that's what people want. They just want everything for fucking free. And then I was like, no, actually, that's really unreasonable.
No, you're not. You're not entirely off base. Like, people just want to press auto and be done with everything. Like, just legitimately, it's why can't I auto TB? Why can't I auto TW? Why can't I auto this? Like,
for real though, why can't I auto TB? Please, let me sim TB.
Yeah, why can't I sim TB? Why can't I sim the raid? Why can't I sim everything? It's like, you're not entirely off. Point, so.
Yeah, you get to a certain point, and that's where I just like that's where I take these hardline stances in the other direction, because it's like, listen, if you can be irrational in your perception of the game, then I'm going to be irrational in mine, because then we're going to see how ludicrous the extremes are of train of thought.
Okay,
because that's where I think that's where we get off on. It's like, I don't understand the mentality on either side, but I feel like it's more fun for me when I can just take arbitrary positions on the game and then just watch the world burn.
Okay.
See,
it doesn't impact my experience.
You see Meathead's comment? He says, send me a list of things you want to be simmable and which ones shouldn't in DM on Monday.
I'm gonna do it.
We're doing it. Doing it. Just sim all of the things.
All right, hold on. I need to get my crass comment in. Where's my I need the gif of your mom.
Ooh, well, actually, my mom.
Oh, I'll sim your mom any day of the week.
Yeah. Well, Nomad. Like, to be fair, like they have said that Galactic Bounties and thank God Smuggler's Run 1 and 2 are all going simmable.
Happening?
I don't know.
Simmable already. I want simmable goddamn Smuggler's Run 2. Damn it.
It would be so nice. I was so depressed when I went into Smuggler's Run 2 and I couldn't sim it. I was like, oh no.
Wait, Meathead, if I'm gonna spend any time telling you how to do anything in this game, it's gonna be to giving me a Conquest data disk store where I can exchange my data disks.
Oh, that.
I'm gonna write up anything for this game. That's what I'm gonna waste my time doing. I'm not gonna. Simming is a nuisance, sure, but if I'm gonna write it up, we're gonna go to what I want, not
So,
what I.
Meathead, I will write you a
about.
dissertation on the things that we should be able to sim and why it'll be good for both CG and the player base. I'll write you a dissertation, buddy. Okay. And I'll do PowerPoint slides for it as well.
Oh, you gotta.
Hey, it's Garth. He's got a face.
Hey, he's alive.
No beanie over the top today, though.
No, the beanie. This is the nice beanie from sweat matted hair that I've got going on now.
Rub it in, Garth. Jesus. It's okay. Wolfie has not only got enough hair for both of us, he's also got like luscious looking hair as well. So I think we have all spectrums of hair on the screen right now.
We do. We do. We got all of the hair and the long beard. We got the medium hair and the medium beard and the no hair and the mustache November or Movember going on over here.
That's
How's
your
that
boy
going?
Scribble. It's
Are you like getting donations for that? Like what's
No.
This what's the word for that?
I usually I do
usually, like,
a
raise money or something for
fundraiser.
that, right?
Yeah, there is a fundraiser on the Movember website. I mean, there's like loads of people do their individual ones. I haven't run one
Okay.
for the last year.
I wasn't sure. I thought you did last year. I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah. Because pure laziness, I'll be honest. So I'm here representing.
I feel you. I'm right there with you.
I'm here representing the cause, but not necessarily raising money out of my own off my own back. So I'm repping the cause right now. So yes, Meathead, we'll get you some Magic the Gathering cards for Christmas.
I mean, if he'd give me a freaking mailing address.
Well, you could just buy some and then not give it to him. Say, I bought you some, and then you can use them.
You know, you got to be careful with gifting things to employees of a company. Can't dare be looking.
Hey,
like
only if he declares it.
It's fair. I did give him the most unruly paperweight of all time, so I don't feel like that's a gift. I feel like it was actually just a long-term curse.
That was the
What?
the Tuscan bust, right? You got him a Tuscan bust.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He where he lives, it's very hard to secure on a flat surface due to
the worst item to keep someone who lives in earthquake land. That's the base of a toothpick. Oh, mate. You just sit down in your desk and it just falls over. It's like, damn it.
Man. In fairness, I had absolutely no idea that it was going to be that bad of a base on it. If I had known, I would have shipped it to myself and modified it, then sent it to you, because I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah.
But I do love giving you endless grief about it, so enjoy that.
That's good. It's good times. Oh my days. So enough controversy, enough dick swinging. How about GAC? How great was everybody's GAC this week so far?
It's been fine. I am still in the mode of not really caring about GAC. So
how the times have changed, Mr. Guthrie.
It's that time of the year, honestly. There just gets to be so much going on in the personal life where it's just not worth the time to invest into researching your opponent and making sure your counters are good.
Oh shit! People research their opponents.
Oh,
remember
some
when
of
you
mine
used
do.
to scout?
I remember the days of scouting.
God.
These days, my level of scouting these days is: does he have great mothers? Does he have Baillan? Okay, cool. Let's go. That's my scouting.
Notes. I used to actually sit there and take notes and shit. Be like, I place this shit over here and I use this team over here. This guy's gonna be here. I'm like sitting there like, oh my god, I'm taking this shit seriously and whatnot. Freaking, the Fort Mort used to have like freaking spreadsheets going on with all this shit, and we would like use the spreadsheets to track your opponents and what they're placing here. It just kind of like maybe I'll do. It's been a while. Like I used to do the Omega Bot. Like that's a pretty good sort of thing. But at this point, it's like you said, it's just do they have great mothers? Okay.
I mean,
cool.
I'm in Malakis's guild now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's in Senate Mandalore. he's the guy that does the Omega bot, guys.
Nice. Yes.
So yeah, no, I used to do all that.
Omega Batman. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I used to do all the hot utils comparisons. I used to go over people's GAC history and be like, oh, this guy always really struggles against I don't know, Slacker. and I would try and hide that on the back wall with stuff on the front wall to pull shit out. And now I just like, everybody's got everything. Fucking, it genuinely comes down to, do they have the latest stuff with the broken Datacrons?
Yeah,
that's the extent of my search.
Yeah, it's the honest to God annoying part to me right now, and part of the reason why I've disengaged with GAC is because of the broken data, the bespoke Datacrons that are broken as hell. It just annoys me.
Sorry. It's a silly word. Anyways,
it's what CG calls
them.
I
know it's what they call them. It just sounds really silly.
I sound so fancy saying a bespoke. Yeah.
Yes. But like when you have to face somebody with a 300% offense Great Mother's Cron and you only rolled 100%, it's like, yeah, they can get away with a different counter because they don't need to survive nearly as much incoming firepower. It's like I can't use Slacker versus some of these teams because literally, if Spirit ever gets out of stun, then the fight's over. Like she'll one-shot everything.
My Great Mother's Cron, my Great Mother's Cron was a JML Cron. Like, it was all protection. It was just like...
Yeah.
Yeah, my Baillan Cron is all health. It's just 150% health, which sucks for well, it sucks for a character that doesn't take reduced damage from percentile health effects. Yeah. So I'm like, thermal detonators, exposes, all that shit just wrecks him now. I'm like, God damn it. I wanted one with loads of offense or defense or... Well, there we go.
See, this is the thing that has annoyed me with these half-baked teams, is that it just feels like mechanically things are missing, and I don't like that, because somebody asked in the chat, how we were feeling about Baillan after we've had this time to play with him, and it's just like
disappointed.
I don't think it was worth the day one hype. I don't feel like the team is performing to the standard I want. I think there's a lot of, even with his own unique Datacron that was only available on the first go, granted I'm happier that it is this way, is he's not really doing anything that Great Mothers is doing. And Great Mothers is literally two characters and a Datacron, and it's carrying the world right now.
I will say on that though, I think that the Great Mothers Datacron is completely overdone. Like, I think they went way too hard on that shit.
It is 100%. The most toxic thing that they've released into the game ever. And it shouldn't exist. I agree with you on that. But, even without that, the Great Mothers team, what Great Mothers brings to the remaining Lightsaber faction, it's still viable. It still has some good use, even when the Cron goes away. It won't be punching nearly as high, and that's fine, no big deal. But like the Baillan, even with or without the Cron, the character just struggles versus a lot of things. And it's like, it kind of reminds me of back in the day, I can't remember which team it was, but it's like, what does Baillan beat? And it's like, JML and a couple other teams, these GLs of that nature. And
I'm using him for
so all the teams we typically don't see on defense, right? Check. Okay, cool.
Well, no, because like I said, I use mine for Leia, and that's something I always see on defense, and that's actually a useful counter for me.
Yeah.
If you look at that statistically, though. I mean, the win rate with Baillan versus Leia is like 60%. It's not great.
It's not great. That's not great.
I thought it was higher than that.
Depends on the Cron, I would assume.
Damn, that sucks.
Well, it's like with it's like Gungans versus Baillan. Like, when it works, but it goes to hell incredibly quickly. It has like a 20% win rate.
I tried Gungans versus Baillan, and I got him down to like red, like 10%, like almost nothing fucking left, and then he just recovered to full, and then I just died a horrible death, and it wasn't fun.
Like, I threw God mods on the Baillan team in the hopes of making it like Great Mothers, where it's like it's going to hold defensively. But I think I did have one round this week where it did hold. Same for Ezra. I think I had 2 holds on Ezra one round, and it hasn't held still. Nice. I'm using Rey with Ezra. But, I mean, you know how it is, Wolfie, and you know as well, Karth. It's like sometimes all you need is 1 or 2 holds, and that's enough to sway things. So I'm happy to do that. It's just for me right now, Baillan just feels like, especially after Great Mothers with their bespoke Datacron, it just feels like a little bit of a letdown. It's like,
yeah.
Well,
not quite.
He doesn't carry the biggest problem I have with Baillan, and this will be more
also we'll see in 5v5
obvious in 5s than it is in 3s, is Baillan doesn't really carry outside of Marok and Shin, the other mercenaries that go with the team. The improvements help, like Hondo. Hondo does better with the team because now his Omicron is updated to reflect the mercenary tag.
Yeah,
he's able to target mercenaries. But the last one in the slot doesn't really have there's not really a good location for it, but there's something that gives that team a solid defensive viability, and it kind of just reminds you all over again. It's like, okay, well, this goes back to some form of offensive only mechanic, because we don't really have a way to make this team survive on its own with the AI in play.
You know what? It almost. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I saw I think it was on Reddit, somebody used Baillan on offense against a Malgus Darth Revan Basti team, and you know what Baillan does to fear. Like, you use fear and like everybody loses 90% of their health because he fucks people that fear him. But he lost the fight on offense with Baillan because he could never take a turn. He was just fear locked. He never took a single turn. So they had like 1% health, but he never took a turn, so he couldn't kill anyone. I was like, I don't know if your Baillan team is just modded like fucking ass, or you just genuinely couldn't take a turn because you were always feared. It's just like, interesting. That was a 3v3 battle, obviously. But
oh, damn.
It's just like, that feels bad, bro.
Damn. I'll say, I'm sort of getting a little bit of the vibes. If anybody, I know you guys remember, but if people in chat and whatnot remember the prepared faction, and it's sort of amusing that Kira ends up being on the Baillan team sometimes because she's like the old leader of the prepared faction. It's sort of like have it, going over to that. Because it feels like they're one of the.
Oh, they're one of the two old characters that got updated for the mercenary tag specifically. Yeah. So, and then she has a mechanic that works under Baillan's lead with granting the health steal up. Yeah. And then her unique Zeta got reworked to work with mercenaries as well. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's when they're not doing a prescribed full 5-man team, they need to do a little bit of something else to bring other characters in line. They did do that with Hondo and Kira, but the problem that a lot of people run into is that application becomes challenging because Datacrons are faction locked or alignment locked a lot of the time, and so it makes it challenging to engage with that well, I guess.
That's what I was saying. I was sort of getting vibes of like the prepared faction with the whole mercenary thing, because it's like they got the cool mechanic, they got the blue buff, they got the whatever thing, but it almost feels kind of half-baked, like you were saying earlier with some of the teams, where it's like, I don't know how this is really going to function. And sometimes it does some great things. Like if it can kill Leia, it can kill Rey, it can kill some really good things. But on defense, it's kind of awkward, not always the most reliable thing. Your fourth and fifth are kind of weird. It's definitely giving me prepared faction vibes. So,
yeah. Well, I doubt it's going to hold up versus Rey with Ezra until GL Ahsoka comes out, because they're just going to put Exiled on. They're going to put they'll put Exiled on Baillan and it's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would hope that a GL just destroys it, to be fair, but.
Oh, we were just saying, like, so Ezra is right now hanging out with the Rey team. So once Galactic Legend Ahsoka comes out, then we presume that Ezra will be hanging out with the Ahsoka team. So Rey will be back to doing her regular shit, and will no longer have Ezra Jedi on the team, Ezra Exile on the team. So Baillan might have a chance over there. So it was just.
I'm pretty confident that Baillan will beat normal Rey comps.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just commentary on that lineup, and hopefully once she's here, Ezra will be gone off that team.
It's kind of nice in the interim to have like a relevant Rey team again, because
it is.
She's been bossed around for quite a while.
The only thing I don't like though is that you have Ezra, which is a conquest unit, and then you have Baillan, which is an epic confrontation. And Ezra as a standalone character feels vastly more powerful than Baillan does.
Yeah.
And that is infuriating as hell because Baillan wasn't a cheap character to get. He was you had to get Marquee up the rip ready to go. And Ezra doesn't even have a Datacron or faction support yet besides Jedi. And he's still just like, well, I'm going to give you a really bad day because this exile is going to just
so powerful. And
it's so powerful.
I would say that even without his Omicrons, he's still very powerful. Like I've only got one on him right now, which is the one that gives him the extra Purgle migration. Because I do feel on his first special, I do feel that should be the first Omicron you get.
That's a good one.
Because getting rid of exiled quickly and exiling an enemy character quickly is money. But I would love to triple Omi him and have some real good times with him. But it's weird.
Even if you look at you take away the exiled mechanic and you look at the mechanic of that he cannot be assisted against. That's huge.
Only while he's got
Baillan's a tank. Yeah, but Baillan's a tank and doesn't have anything that reduces incoming or percent health abilities. Doesn't have anything that reduces assisting him. Like there's nothing that really kind of allows him to adequately deal with the board. It's just you go in with Lord Vader. It's well, I just delete somebody or delete Baillan out the rip, and then with 5 stacks on Maul, and then the fight's over.
Yeah,
it's just
and Shin's very squishy as well.
Yeah,
she does a lot of damage, mine. She is a proper glass cannon.
Yeah,
she hits real fucking hard. But don't sneeze at her; she might die.
Well, they should have done some sort of guard mechanic with Shin and Baillan, where it's Baillan constantly redirects. If she gets hit, he immediately taunts. Like a royal guard mechanic, where it's hey, she drops below 100% health, I gain a locked taunt.
Have a damage sharing between them, her siphon
or that
damage
too.
To him.
That's what I was thinking. Either a damage siphon or a health equalization thing like Geo's. But then again, you could probably drop him really quickly by focusing on her.
Well, yeah, that's the problem you run into is that he has no way to reduce that percent health.
Well, if they made it a raw damage, that's really the biggest thing. The percentage health damage, man. Holy crap. That feels like such either an oversight or it feels like a balancing thing. It almost feels like they tried him with the percentage health damage, resistance, and it was just too overpowered. I'm really curious what happened in the testing over there.
I'm sure they did it.
Ability.
I love it how Borrow in the chat is saying, "God damn it, I've been listening for 30 minutes and can't figure out how you change topics, characters, and stuff all the time." It's we're basically like 3 children with ADHD and been given a bag of sweets and say, "Talk about stuff." It doesn't make any sense, mate. We're not here to make sense. We're here to just bitch for.
We just
2
have
hours.
opinions on stuff and things, and then we go about our days. But
it makes sense, to us at least.
Yeah, just kind of.
Allegedly.
It just feels. It just reminds me of GLA all over again. It's they gave us 3 characters, and then it's well, find your best rebels to fill out the best, and then you're okay, well, if I go by what the leadership says, it should be Kanan and Old Ben. Okay, well, then you gave me Old Man Rex, you gave me Leia, so Kanan needs to kind of live with Phoenix now, so I can't really use Kanan there. And then Old Ben can kind of go here, but, Old Ben doesn't really have the survivability that newer tanks do, and so he's not, the most durable tank in the world. And so it's okay, and then you got other options. You do Adred and Jin, you can do Han and Chewie, all these other. I do have. Come on,
just relic 9. Just relic 10.
He's already there.
He's obviously I have a relic 9. Jackass, come on.
Yeah, he's a tank. Come on.
Which tank are we talking about now? Sorry, I've lost track.
Old Ben.
Old Ben.
Old Ben. Okay. I mean, I suppose he is a tank.
I have Kanan at R9 too, but it's.
Well, so do I, but that's because the tribe hates me.
So.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of the thing. Is I would have liked a more prescribed team. I like how they made her one of her entire uniques just make R2D2 useful again. But
I do like that.
It's just I just find it that like the problem that we constantly run into from when CG does a half team is that we always run into the problem of there's not enough things accounted for. You know, like we're when we get the Spectre team, this team is going to dominate across the board on all fronts.
I feel like
yeah,
it's going to be crazy.
Just by what they can do presently, unless Ahsoka's just an absolute, complete, useless pile of crap until she gets an ultimate, and her ultimate takes 4.5 minutes, and then she just wins
think
the
she's
battle.
going to be like monstrously good.
Oh, I 100% agree. I'm just throwing out.
I think
like
we've
the
seen
worst
the tip
case
of the
scenario
iceberg.
in which, yeah.
I mean, look
But
at
that's the thing is like we're
individual
building.
components. Considering how good the individual components are, yes.
And we haven't even seen Hera yet, let alone GLSA.
Yeah.
And Ezra's just like clapping cheeks. Ezra's clapping cheeks.
Well, and
Padawan Sabine looks great.
Yang.
They've given us a full team though, right? So they've given us Hu Yang, Padawan Sabine, Ezra, and Hera.
Hera.
Hera,
So it's
yeah.
a full
Team. Weird. They actually, they gave us a full team for this one. Interesting.
Yeah, this one's coming with the full team. But that's how I prefer it. I mean, you look at the difference between Gungans and Queen Amidala and their releases.
Well, because like Jabba was a 3-man team that they gave us, and then said fill in the blanks.
4-man
team.
Jabba was 4.
Yeah, I guess 4-man team.
But
Leia was a 3-man team, said fill in the blanks.
Yeah, when they did Gungans felt far better in first play interaction because the team was complete. Queen Amidala is still stuck on trying to figure out who her fourth and fifth are because it changes with every Datacron meta that comes out. Now, granted, as long as CG doesn't expand the GAC board, it doesn't matter. There's enough Galactic Republic to just always power condense the best Datacron team into the same board and send it outward. So it's one of those things where it's like, I get that they want to leave flexibility, and like Queen Amidala is a team where it's fine. Like there's not really an issue with it, but like Mercenaries on the other hand, I feel like they could have done a little bit more on the back end to either give somebody a rework or touch up on their kit.
I am a little confused about Mercenaries, to be honest, because we got a lot of Mercenaries.
We did.
Yeah.
But you look at the Baillan team, you're like, well, fucking, I'm going to use Hondo, and then one other guy, and it's basically not going to be 30 out of the 32 people that you've chosen to give the mercenary tag. So what the fuck do I do with the rest of them? Like, they've got the mercenary tag.
2025 is the year of the mercenaries.
The year of the merc.
It gives new mercenary leaders. Gives us Deadpool. I mean, gonna give us new mercenary.
Look at Deadpool, and that would actually be so like on brand for Deadpool. To be just like, what?
Just shows up in a Star Wars game.
I just decide I'm in the Star Wars universe now.
Yes! Oh my god, yes! Fucking please. Can we
and he would be like,
just like a Deadpool Jedi?
It's Luke Skywalker! Yeah.
He just like has little like Han's blasters as his new fucking pistols.
Pew, pew,
Holy
pew,
crap.
pew. Yeah. I could
totally just do a whole montage of
No, he can steal Django's. Because Django has the 2 pistols. He can steal Django's pistols. Oh my god, yes. Have him just burst in, just like kill Mace Windu, and then like go and take his kill and like kill Django, then like kill it.
You need to like have him like doing like little jump cuts through the episodes of Star Wars where he's just pilfering weapons off of defeated enemies.
Yes,
but now I've got these.
After Mace
I've got
kills
these
Django,
gold pistoleros.
After Mace kills Django, he goes in and steals Django's 2 blasters. So he has the dual blasters right over there.
Hell yes.
No. What you need to have is in the forefront. You need Boba facing towards the arena, holding his father's helmet, and then on the background you need Deadpool sprinting across the field, going to Django's body, stealing the guns, and running off screen.
Yep. I'm just gonna take these right here. Don't mind me.
Yeah. He just needs no dialogue, just a cameo of Deadpool moving across the screen.
He was a terrible father anyway.
Dialogue. There's got to be dialogue. He's got to have a one-liner in there. Be like,
oh, he will at the end of it. But he's, yeah.
That would be beautiful. I would be here to see it.
Hilarious.
We can't have Year of the Mercenary without the Merc with the mouth.
Right? Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
But yeah, for real. So all joking aside, I am expecting them to bring in more like mercenary leaders and whatnot.
Yeah.
To make more of the random mercs actually useful. They're starting off with the Bad Batch. I'm expecting all of them to be mercenaries too.
Yep.
Like we said, I think a week or two ago, I was surprised that they weren't mercenaries to begin with.
Yeah,
and
same
I said
actually.
that like a couple of times. Like their entire fucking role in the show was as mercenaries. Like as soon as they escaped the Galactic.
Whoa! Back it all the way up.
I need you to get all the way back there.
Literally, in every kit release for the Bad Batch, these are based off their appearance in season 7 of Clone Wars. Every single one, and then
except for Omega.
And then they went, but here's Omega. Yeah, that's why everyone was pissed that we got Omega instead of Crosshair, because in everything that they said leading up to it, and all the media releases, was that it was based off their season 7 appearance.
All right, I'll give you that.
And then they gave us Omega.
Basically, what we're actually getting now is we're skipping the middle. We're going season 1 and season 3. We don't get season 2 Bad Batch.
No. We're good. The only
except for Omega
season we're getting is season 3.
Oh, sorry. No, yeah, sorry. We're getting Clone Wars season 7 Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And we're getting season 3 Bad Batch. Nothing in between. Oh, okay, fine. How weird. Oh, and Omega, because fuck you guys.
Yeah, dude. I am a little perplexed on who they give us for the Bad Batch team, because clearly it's going to be another Wrecker, another Hunter, another Omega, and likely Crosshair.
Yeah.
I would just imagine the outrage if they don't give us Crosshair a second time.
I mean, because we're not getting, I mean, spoiler alert, we're not getting Tech.
No, we're not getting Tech.
So yeah, everyone but Tech.
But to me, the most logical thing is that dog that they have, that creature that is kind of like a dog.
Batcher?
I don't remember what it's. Batcher, yeah.
Come on, it's the Bad Batch. How do you not remember Batcher?
Yeah. I'm still working my way through season 3. I've seen all the highlights, but I haven't watched all the individual episodes yet.
Gotcha.
But the in my head, that makes the most sense, but the part that kills me is like there are so many good clones to choose from you know, you got Zeta, you got Gregor, you've got Wolf.
Give us a new version of fucking Cody.
Yeah, you give us Empire, you give us basically, you know, grayed out Cody. There are so many options for them to run with, and if they don't, as one of the marquees, even though it doesn't lead to the Bad Batch team, if they don't give us a new Asajj mercenary, I'm gonna be a little
that needs to happen.
That.
And you've probably said it, but Crosshair, right? Yeah. You've probably already said Crosshair.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Here's number 1.
Spoiler alert.
What do you mean we're not getting Tech? Why would we not get Tech?
What do you mean we're not getting Tech?
Omega's relic ability will be Tech's broken goggles.
Yeah, definitely. Has to be.
Oh no.
Has to be.
It will definitely be. It'll definitely be. But
that's
the thing is, like,
they could have Omega with an ability called, you know, Plan 99 or whatever it is, and it's just like a blood splatter on the floor.
Oh no. Just have a train car come smashing down on somebody.
A carriage just falls out of the sky and lands.
Oh god.
That's dark. That is so dark, dude.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
bunch of animals. Yeah, but they're they're gonna. I do hope they bring out, besides, because it's hard. I don't know where they're gonna go with, because they did say in the era post is that every era will lead to a new event or journey guide character. Yep. I can't imagine this one being a new journey guide character, so it's got to be an event if it's a new assault battle or a new or leading into the new raid. I'm not certain yet. But they did say it's going to be 5 marquees only, so it feels like they're just going to give us the new Bad Batch team. So I can't.
Did they
see them going to?
I can't remember.
It's in the post.
I'll go check it now. God damn it! Keep talking, Garth.
And
I'm just
so on the notes on Batcher. I think that it's not likely that we get Batcher. I think that more likely it's going to be like Bam and Grogu, like the original release of him, where like one of his abilities calls forward Grogu, and like, oh look, we got Grogu over here. I think there's probably a good chance that Omega is going to have an ability which calls forth Batcher, and like he does something over there, like be call an assist or like do something. He like stuns somebody. Whatever it is. I don't think we'll get.
Oh
him
yeah,
as an
no, it's
actual
a
playable character. I think he'll be like a side call for Omega.
I want him to be a
100%.
summoned unit.
A summon would be fun. A summoned unit, I think that would be cool actually.
Yeah.
That I
Give
could
it
get
to-
down with.
Get another Batcher in here. Why not?
Like I said, I think
I just don't know who they're gonna choose as the fifth, because Batcher makes the most sense in my head, but I would love to see the new Asajj.
I
over
doubt he'll be
anything
his own
else.
unit.
Yeah, so the first full era is the era of the Cavalry. Our first full 3-episode era begins on January 14, 2025. The clever players may have already been able to deduce the theme will be based on the title. This era will contain 5 new marquee characters to create a new Bad Batch squad. Will be based on the events of season 3 of the Disney Plus series and includes a couple of characters that make use of the new mercenary tag. We can't wait to announce more details.
This is just
I like how
really
it says
weird.
a couple of characters.
It does, yeah, this is really weird because it says the era contains 5 new marquee characters to create a new Bad Batch squad. And then it
Okay.
also says a couple of characters that make use of the new mercenary tag. Well, I'll be like, wouldn't they all have the mercenary? Well, maybe Crosshair technically doesn't.
Because if
but...
they have how many? It's like what 8 marquees possible throughout the whole thing.
Well, they're saying
Possible,
it's just
yes.
5, right?
Well, saying
Well,
5,
no,
for the
that-
Bad Batch.
that's-
well, 5
That's
for the Bad
that's an
Batch.
interpretation.
And then they
Yeah,
have
that's
the
an
other-
interpretation.
They have the extras, which would be the other mercenaries. So they can
Right.
have
Yeah.
like, the primary ones be the Bad Batch ones, and then the secondary ones be random mercs. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
so this
what's
might be
their,
there will be
Interesting.
5 marquees that make up the new Bad Batch squad, plus additional characters
Yeah.
that use the new mercenary tag.
Okay.
That would be there are 2 ways to understand that. I
6
guess
marquees an hour,
init-
sorry.
there's just a giant unneeded sentence in between the 2 statements
Yeah.
Also,
that I
there's a
feel
good
like
chance
makes
that
it
one of
feel
those.
like
So there's a good chance that like there may be a legendary of one of the Bad Batches. Say that the Crosshair is the legendary that you use 4 of the marquees of the Bad Batch to unlock, and then they have like another possible
Possibly.
2 other
Well,
marquees.
I would imagine that it probably requires all 6. If it is Asajj, they'll probably be like, here you go, use all these Bad Batch and also Asajj.
Right.
Or are you suggesting that if we're getting 5 characters to make a new Bad Batch squad, but
Actually,
one of them
Ventress
isn't
would be-
Crosshair? Ventress could be the legendary.
Well,
I
I'm,
guess,
I'm
but-
saying if we're getting 5 new characters to make a new Bad Batch squad,
Yeah.
but one of them isn't a marquee, one of them is an unlock.
Hmm.
Did they
well,
say it was a marquee? Or I'm not looking
they
at the
say
post.
this
Says
era will
5.
contain 5 new marquee characters
marquee
to
characters,
create
okay.
a new Bad Batch squad.
Okay,
Yeah.
then ignore what I'm saying and
Yeah.
read the post
So
instead. 'cause I don't have the post
it's
in front of me.
possible that they give us something as an event, but
Okay.
they did say that every episode or every era will become a it will either lead to an event or a journey guide character.
Okay, so they could be the ones
So-
that unlock the bounty hunter Asajj or mercenary Asajj.
Yeah, it could be that, or it could be that that they're needed for a new assault battle that they'll launch at the end of the era, or it could be that they give us a new or they're the start of the new raid. There's a possibility
yeah,
going
it could
this
be, I
direction
suppose.
with,
Yeah.
with that, because event is broad as to what it could relate to, but
Right.
it's likely going to be either a new assault battle or the raid. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how they do it. I can't help but feel like the Bad Batch will just be Bad Batch. People are suggesting that we might get Fee, the Trandoshan, but I can't see it. I don't see that we don't get her, but I just don't think she will be a Bad Batch character. I think she will just be a
she's not Bad
mercenary
Batch.
on her
Yeah.
own.
I think she could be one of like the mercenary leaders that they bring in. Like,
Yeah.
bring in Fee.
She could
bring
absolutely
in, what's
do
the
that.
other?
Yeah.
Who's the one that they report to? And like Fee is like the one who's like does whatever mercenary shit. Like who's the one that they report to?
I thought
I
Fee
haven't
was
watched it
the.
so fucking long.
I thought Fee was the Trandoshan that owns the bar, and then there's that treasure hunter woman.
I thought Fee was the treasure hunter woman.
Oh, okay. Okay, no,
Am
okay.
I mixing them up?
Yeah,
I might be mixing them
well,
up. I haven't seen
one
it
of us
so
is
long.
definitely mixing it up. I can't remember. I didn't particularly enjoy Bad Batch. Fee is the
He
treasure
is the
hunter. Roz.
Roz. There we
Yeah.
go. Roz.
We can't have a
okay.
character called Roz come to the game. It's just no. just can't. That's Mrs. Scribble's
I
name.
know
That
why.
would just get confusing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That'd just get very confusing for me. So yeah.
All right, Roz and Fee. There we go. So yeah, I figured there's a good
Yeah.
chance that Roz could be a mercenary leader. Fee could be a mercenary leader.
I wouldn't mind that stupid
so-
droid that gets run over because he was funny. He was in like the pod racing episode.
Oh, that one. Yes.
He had a really stupid name, but he was actually like I did not enjoy Bad Batch just in general. I know a lot of people did, but it's not my cup of tea. But he was one person that actually made me laugh, so I'll take him.
Well, I mean, we've discussed this before. You know, it's not really made for us. It's made for like definitely. It's more of a tropey kind of kids show sort of thing. So in that regard, it definitely is what we sort of expected from from that sort of type of show.
Yeah,
I think they did a pretty good job with some of the like. There were some very interesting episodes. Everything dealing with the Empire, with the phasing out of the clones and switching over to that, like, all of those things were very interesting episodes. And the more they delve into that, the more they delve into
Hemlock was a decent villain.
the
I'll give him that.
experimenting. Hemlock was interesting. I think they did a lot of good things over there. I think that is absolutely for sure. Everything focusing on the Bad Batch was a tropey kids show. Otherwise, it was a lot of it was some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Overall, like we said, it's not really meant for us. So,
No. And I don't want to say that there were no
Yeah.
good episodes, because that's not true.
Oh, yeah.
It's not true that there were no good episodes. It's just it felt like there was, some episodes were definitely a lot weaker, and just the general tone for it for me is just it's not really my thing, and I think my perspective on it as well had been tainted by the earlier seasons, which felt a lot more kiddie in its vibe. And I'm just like, it's just like,
that's
the main characters are all just character tropes.
Yes,
like,
that is literally every time an animated Star Wars starts.
Oh yeah,
The first season or two is always incredibly childish.
yeah.
It was the same thing with the original launch of Clone Wars, the original movie that started the whole process. Was very childish, and then Rebels was the exact same way when Disney bought it out.
Oh my
They
god, and
wanted to
that's why
go
I couldn't
through-
watch Rebels.
Oh yeah, you honest to God just have to like grit through the first two seasons, and then in season 3 there's a massive time jump.
Season 3, they
and then-
realized that they have adults watching their shows, and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute,
I got
this interesting for them too."
I got to a couple of episodes into season 2, and I burned out. I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah, it's rough. It is rough.
Yeah, but there we go.
Yeah. Like I said, eventually they sort of realized that, oh, wait a minute, we have actual Star Wars fans and actual adults watching the show, so we maybe need to make this interesting for more than not just the children who might be watching the cartoon sort of Star Wars.
I
So
mean,
you watch like the later Clone Wars seasons where it's like they get into some real heavy fucking lore, into some really heavy shit, and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, dude, yeah. Season 5 of Clone Wars gets dark in a real hurry.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
genuinely,
Season 5 gets dark.
just give me an R-rated Star Wars film or a TV series. I'd watch that. Give me something that looks like Daredevil out of the Netflix TV shows. I'd watch the fuck out of that. That would be sick.
Dude.
It doesn't have to all be for kids, man. Like I still love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, but I would also love to see some R-rated content outside of Pornhub.
That's not R-rated. That's AO. That's different.
Sorry. Oh, I've been watching the wrong stuff then.
I mean, yeah, there's the R-rated and what you see on that are two different things.
Yeah.
Just straight out.
The lengths you go to tell a joke. I mean, that's what
I know.
But yeah, now give me something that's more in line with. And I'm not saying it has to be like Deadpool, where it's just like comedy, but give me something that isn't afraid to, like, 1, to curse, 2, to actually kill people in a brutal way. Be dark about it. That it's okay.
Hey,
it's there. It works.
You mean like that one brief episode of Acolyte?
I was just gonna say the one, like, one of the very few praises I have to say about the Acolyte was one like that fucking scene where he just broke Yord's neck.
Oh
and he just
my God.
threw him on the fucking ground.
That
and
was
then
brutal,
stabbed
man.
Jackie in like this chest 3 times. It's like, fuck yeah, thank you, please.
Yeah.
That's what I needed.
I enjoyed
catharsis.
the Jedi shish kebab. That was kind of cool. It's like I stab you and then I force pull you onto my lightsaber. I was like
catharsis.
Yeah.
Thank you. Finally, you guys got your shit together.
Towards the tail end
Right.
of Clone Wars, it did get
though.
a bit grittier, but the
yeah.
there's a lot of things where it's like they just don't they
Oh
don't
yeah, the
get
Embaran
really
arc. That arc.
Yeah, the Embara arc is
that
pretty
was so dark,
pretty nuts.
dude. Like literally,
So is the
the general sends his own soldiers and tells them that the enemy is dressed up in their own armor and has them fire upon each other. Literally sends his own men to kill each other. Like that got fucking dark,
well,
man.
they were fighting another division. Yeah,
that got
but yeah.
fucking dark.
Well, and the thing is though is he told both
Like,
sides the same thing.
jeez.
That he told one side to
Yeah.
assault in a position, that the enemy had taken their armor and that they would be dressed up as clones, and they told the defending position that there was an enemy assault coming and they had taken their armor and they were dressed up as clones.
Now imagine
halfway
that
through the-
storyline after watching season 1.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Well, and the fact that the clones straight out like end up executing him in a not like brutal fashion, but like straight up like he's like, well, I'm just gonna go to prison, and then when Palpatine takes over, I'll be let out. And he's like, you're not getting to prison. And then just
Kill him,
yeah.
No, they kill him. It's dark, man. Like that whole arc just goes on some real. Well, they do that a lot in season 6 too. Like they go down the you start seeing Anakin's like spiral towards like the more dark side of his habits, and so you see a lot like when he interrogates Trench of like,
oh my god,
he's like, oh. The Jedi are so merciful; they would never hurt a prisoner. And Anakin's like, I don't have such weakness, and just impales him through the chair. Just like, nope, you're dead. It's like, this is like what you kind of need in Star Wars, is somebody who's like on the good side, but like not afraid of getting their hands dirty. But they really build up Anakin.
Well, that's why Rogue One was so good.
Yeah, they really build up Anakin to why the Empire's pivot in the Empire, the people that form the Empire start taking over parts of the Republic. You can see why he aligns with them, because they aren't afraid of getting the job done.
When he aligns with for example, Tarkin. When
he meets Tarkin for the first time and he starts to agree with Tarkin's philosophy on how war should be conducted, because that's the problem that they run into, is that they often don't go far enough, and then the enemy resurgences after the fact, and so that's where they got.
The Jedi Code prevents them from, doing all that is required in order to achieve victory, and he sees this as a failing of the Jedi and whatnot. He's very pragmatic in that sense, and you can definitely see the cogs turning and whatnot as he's slowly falling out of the Jedi Order sort of.
They also do a really great job. They do a really great job on selling why Ahsoka so vehemently left the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Because how they treat her is just ridiculous.
Oh, it's insane.
Like nobody stands up for her. Nobody tries to defend her. It's like
nobody. Nobody requests fucking surveillance footage. Like, come on.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing. Like the entire Jedi Council was ready to sign her certificate of being in life in prison forever, and the only person who decided to even bother to half-ass investigate it was Anakin.
Yeah. And
the only reason Anakin got anywhere close to the truth was because Ahsoka kept investigating and kept unveiling Barris's plans. And so then it eventually came to a head where Anakin got a clue of somebody in the Jedi Temple, and then it unveils that Barris was the one behind it all, and it just kind of humors you that it's more like by happenstance that Anakin solved the crime, and not that anyone tried to vindicate Ahsoka as not being the one that blew up a hangar full of clone troopers. And it's just so funny to watch that go back and forth on it. It's just they do a lot of much more morally gray
ambiguous
areas of the war.
Well, that was them really showing like when the Jedi had sort of lost their way and they were just sort of very protectionist and trying to keep themselves clean, and you could tell that they were sort of falling apart over there towards the end of the end of their time, as it were. So the Clone Wars did a very, very good job, like the TV show, of adding a lot of context to the movie, to the fall, to the everything, to how the Jedi Order really, like, they added so much context to that, and I think they did a really good job of that. And they did it respectfully. Like, they did it in a way that was like honest and like honored the Jedi, but also was like really fucking realistic about like, hey, yeah, these guys were fucking arrogant as shit, and they were convinced that there was no way they could possibly fall. They were completely full of themselves at that point. They had lost their lost touch with things, and they just brought it upon themselves at that point. So, but yeah, great show. Man, we got way off topic.
We got a little bit. So do you remember that
Star Wars?
I was talking about how we're like 3 kids with ADHD and a bag of sweets. I think this is the outcome.
Oh wait,
I think this is the come down from the sugar high. Now we're
so
like,
the question really comes down to is, what's the speculation on the era after the Bad Batch?
Ooh,
we gonna do some Andor content?
No,
it's going to release with the next episode of.
Which honestly,
episode of next season of Andor,
because you could count Andor characters as some mercs for sure.
I don't think it will be Andor stuff. I think it's too early, isn't it?
I'm saying you don't want.
Oh yeah, there's not really a lot from season 1 that we can really pull from that we didn't already have.
It's 3 months. It's 3 months that we've got to wait, basically. So I mean, it's clearly going to be Acolyte.
Dude,
I will fucking end you.
Honest to God, though, the fact that they pulled everything off their websites is like what tells me like they're not gonna do it.
I don't think they'll do Acolyte stuff. I don't think they will.
I honest to God, it's the thing I think
they've already made Acolyte stuff. I'll be honest. Like, I think work had started on them doing Acolyte stuff, and I don't think it'll ever see the light of day.
I really hope we don't.
Yeah, it would be the first time that has happened in this game.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna...
I would rather see Scooter Squad than.
God!
Like that's how bad. I would rather see Scooter Squad.
Come on.
Than Acolyte content.
If we're getting Scooter Squad, we need to have the legendary unlock for that being Boba Fett riding a Rancor.
Oh my God! Okay, that I would actually be okay with.
I would be okay. Yeah, it has to be a large character because Rancor's pretty big.
Large character, Boba Fett riding the Rancor. I'm down. Like,
Mount Le Rancor, Mr. Boba Fett. I'll be okay with that.
Mount Le Rancor.
Mount Le Rancor. I would be so down for that. That would be good.
Yeah, that I'm. Yeah,
can you imagine
the Boba Fett show,
how much like community sentiment CG would have to raise to get away with releasing Acolyte stuff?
Dude,
like, could you imagine if they did all this episode track changes and the very first era that they released was Acolyte? Could you imagine?
Oh God.
People would just be quitting left and right. They'd just be like, nope.
No, just I'm
Fuck
sorry.
This shit, I'm out.
Skipping that outright. I'm sorry. Just Meathead, if you're listening, if you're still taking notes, if you actually fucking release Acolyte content, I am skipping that era entirely. You will not get a single penny out of me. I will be hoarding my resources to make sure I'm good for the whatever era comes afterwards. Just, please don't do it. Please.
I will skip on that era.
I'm just skipping that entirely. Like, just 100%. I'm out. Sorry. Just no thanks. Come on. Just please don't do it. Please, just.
It would be so funny.
Oh God.
It would be so funny. But I think it is about time that we get Bib Fortuna in the game.
Everyone was calling Bib Fortuna as soon as Jabba was like, "Oh yeah, Bib Fortuna is 100% going to be Jabba's lifter."
It just made sense.
I was 100% anti Bib Fortuna from the beginning because I was like, what's he gonna do? Make the team vulnerable to Jedi Knight Luke? Just like go and let Jabba's enemies in? Like as soon as Jabba dies,
Bib just had a massive role.
Be like, oh,
in Star Wars Outlaws. Okay,
how about
it's his
when
time.
how about when Jabba dies, Bib Fortuna is revived, and he just like is a lesser version of Jabba. Like it never really felt actually right for Bib Fortuna to actually be lifting of any kind. He was just kind of a schmuck. So I was always anti Bib Fortuna, but he was like, come on, he was useless. He did shit.
He wasn't useless.
He got slapped around by Jabba for letting Jedi Knight Luke come in and invade his home.
Hang on,
yeah, but
are we going back to this whole R-rated Star Wars right now? I mean, you got slapped around for letting Jedi Knight Luke come inside.
Clapping cheeks. Calm down. Calm down.
Oh my god.
No. If they ever do Acolyte, my whole goal is I will 7-star the characters. They will sit at Gear 1, Relic 1. Or sorry, Gear 0, level 1, and then I will take them in as the first fight of every GAC just to watch the team get decimated.
I love it.
And then I'll play the actual game.
I thought you were just going to put them on defense every single round to make sure that they get destroyed.
Ooh,
like,
that's a good call.
No, I gotta watch it happen.
This is my sacrifice.
Yeah, I gotta watch this happen every time. I just need to watch the team die.
I would probably gear Kamir, but if I have to gear anybody else, I would be very upset.
You have to gear the sisters.
Okay, I'm out.
He'll make
I'm done.
No,
I'm out. I'm totally out.
Oh my god, dude!
I actually think CG has got a really unique opportunity here. If they release Osha and May, whatever the fuck they're called, they could actually have the very first character in Galaxy of Heroes that has more physical expression in-game than they do on the TV. You know what I mean? That's a unique opportunity.
What CG has the problem that I have right now, of course, in the back of my head, is that no matter what we speculate to, CG is already most of the way through development on whatever's coming after the Bad Batch. Mm-hmm. So it's just like I'm just praying that CG was like, you know what? Haven't had a lot of winners in the media world. Let's do the fan favorite shit. Let's do some expanded universe. Let's go get some crazy characters from the expanded. Like I was telling you.
Okay,
yesterday,
yeah, I'm sold. We're getting Lightside Starkiller with Proxy, and we're getting Juno Eclipse, and we're getting Ram Coda. And
I would love Proxy. Oh my god!
Some Mark Brood action.
Yes.
Do that. Give me Darth Crate as a GL, and then we'll just make the Tuskens work with that.
Only after I've had a bunch of R9 Tusken goals. That's when it has to happen. I want new Lightside Starkiller.
There are so many things that I think the majority of the player base would be more interested in than keeping up with the Joneses of what's being released in the current media. Mm-hmm. That I'm just like, CG, please, can we, like, if we're gonna do this whole episode, this whole era thing, can all of the eras not follow what's being released from Disney? Can we get a little bit of just like, hey, here's some EU stuff. Mm-hmm. Here's some Old Republic stuff. Here's some other cool things. Here's the actual Rebel characters you wanted with General Leia. Have a General Lando and a General Han, an actual General Leia, not the bullshit one that you gave us.
Eli Vanto, and you'd be like, oh, hang on.
So many things I want to see like come into the game where it's just like I would actually have a large degree of interest in would be a lot of the stuff from the EU. And so it's like I kind of hope that's where we're headed because like, and I've mentioned this a few times before. If CG's going to make this just a nonstop wall of marquees and all of the content is spending in the game, then that's going to burn me out really fast. It's like,
and that's coming from Carth, guys.
It's got to be something I'm interested in. Like I'm not really interested in Ahsoka. I was interested in Baillan, but Ahsoka's like, all right, fine. It looks cool. It'll be interesting, but it's like it's not grabbing my attention the way like Starkiller did, or the way
you're mostly getting it because it's the next biggest GL, and you need to get it to keep up.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm getting it because I need to stay meta viable, and she's gonna be dominant when she releases. But it's like I just I'm like, if you want players to be interested in just spending to buy marquees. Like, can we get some cool marquees? Can we go down the SWGoH list and like, hey, we got Malgus. Can we get Satil Shan? Can we get True Revan? Can we get some of these other characters from the Old Republic? Can we get Mitra Surik and and the rest of the cast from KOTOR 2? Can we have some more interesting things come down?
I'll take
I
Kreia.
need a neutral character for Honda to go with. But like, I just want some more of this other stuff.
Actually, neutral character
seems more interesting. I feel like there's a lot of like the 2000s and 1990s games that we could start pulling from, and you would just watch the fanboys just lose their heads, going like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited to have Delta Squad in the game. I'm so excited to have Kyle Katarn's little crew from the Outcast series. I'm excited to have these other badass characters."
I would be down to get some more Jedi Knight characters. Was it Devon and Tavion? I think they were in Outcast. They might have been Academy. I can't remember. But the villains that you face off against, and you've got.
I believe Devon was in Jedi Academy.
He was the dinosaur-looking motherfucker.
So
yeah, that was Academy.
Like, that was cool, man. They had some good villains there. They had some real good villains. Those games were great.
With good motivations and well-written, like,
great combat.
Man, to go back to those days.
The lightsaber combat in that game was a lot of fun.
It was. My favorite, like,
force-pushing rockets back at people.
Dude, my favorite thing in the world was, like, when you got to the late-game missions and there were all the Dark Jedi that could resist the Force.
Yeah.
And so you just force grip and whip your mouse across the screen because it will activate, and then the physics just takes over and they fly off the cliff. It's like you're like, oh look, 12 Dark Jedi. Wouldn't it be weird if I just wee.
Just gotta get it quick.
You're like, oh, now there's just one.
There was something incredibly satisfying about like force choking a person over a bridge and just being like, and then just dropping them. It's like, I'm not sure that was very light side of me, but but I looked fucking funny.
It was fun.
It got the job done,
I like how like after every like arc of missions you did, they would look at your force powers and tell you how you were progressing as a Jedi. Yeah. Like, oh, you got some dark side force powers. You're looking a little evil. What are you trying to do here?
The thing is, let's be honest, the dark side force powers are just cooler.
Oh yeah,
they were way more combat effective.
Yes,
like force speed was like more likely to get me to run off a cliff than it was to like get me out of danger.
Like healing was nice, but it doesn't really compare to like lightning and force grip. You're like,
Not exactly the same.
Though they did have some fun combat stuff, because when you got like the dual sabers, you could like crouch and then like spin the sabers around you and like mutilate.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my god,
those were really fun. The double-bladed sabers had some really intricate like move sets that if you activated the right buttons for it, would just do this very long like spin kick style straight line attack, and it was really cool. They had some really like, it's kind of crazy as you go back and look at like the old games and what they had available for tools and what they were able to produce. And then you look at what they have now and you're like, man, wouldn't it be really weird if you released a AAA Star Wars title and then 3 months later you had to release a massive patch that basically overhauled your combat system because it sucked so bad on the first release? Not looking at Outlaws or anything, but
I've already forgot. I've wiped that game from my existence now. I played it, I completed it, I enjoyed it to a certain degree, and now I can forget it for the rest of my life.
You know what you can do now, though? You can now holster the weapons you can pick up and take them with you places.
Oh, wouldn't that be a really good thing to do from the very first day the game came out? Instead of having a useless mechanic of disposable weapons, who the fuck wants to? Who the fuck actually wants to go through a game and be like, oh look, I've got this weapon for 6 shots. I just don't fucking pick it up. What's the point? It's like, okay, great. Let me just use my pistol anyway. No.
Yeah, your pistol was so powerful anyways, and still is the most powerful thing in the game. And so it's just like,
I can't help but feel it's just lazy. I'm not playing Contra, for fuck's sake. Getting temporary power-ups. And no.
Yeah. I unfortunately, I never played it, but I can never be unreminded of it, or rather, I am reminded of it constantly, because for some fucking reason, every time I open up Twitch on mobile, it shows a
That
little
advert.
freaking screenshot, like a little video, whatever, like preview of you playing Outlaws. It's got a video of like you on the speeder bike, just going through some canyon or something, and you're driving around, and whether you're playing Galaxy Heroes or whatever the hell it is,
It was always
you
that.
always have that same freaking
Why?
screenshot
That's so
on
weird.
Twitch Mobile. I don't know why.
Beautiful.
But it
Beautiful.
always shows up, and it's always you
Like,
playing Outlaws.
don't
And it's
get me
like,
wrong,
no,
I
it's
did not
Friday,
hate
he's
the
playing
game.
GAC. You're wrong, Twitch. You're wrong.
I'll be honest, I did not dislike the game. I still think the game is like a 7 out of 10. It was okay.
Yeah,
it was
That's
okay.
right, really.
Agree.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
genuinely.
it's not a bad Star Wars game. It's just that like it wasn't a great one.
Yeah, and I
it
think
was a good run of the mill Star Wars game.
we get kind of
7
starved.
seems
I
high,
feel
though. I
of
figured
like
it would have been like 6 or 5. But go on.
no, definitely better than 5. Like I think if I would have actually preferred the game if they cut out all the fluff. If they cut out all the fluff and made it a linear, single-player Star Wars experience game that was just driven by the story, it would feel better. Because when they actually get the story beats right in it, it's actually pretty good. There are some moments of the story that's like, actually, that's pretty fucking cool. Like, there's one scene with Vader in it that is, like, it's actually fucking cool. I was like, shit, that's actually a cool fucking scene. But
the worst
there's
thing
too much
about
in
the
between.
game is that it's Ubisoft, and that it took all the Ubisoft tropes and just slammed it inside of a Star Wars game, which was the epitome of, hey, here's the story. If you turn left, there is 800 hours of bullshit to do that we don't recommend, but
somebody had to
do
build
some
it.
of it. So go that way. And then 12 hours later, you're bored and tired of the game. And you're like, oh, right, maybe I should do the story mission that I'm now way overpowered for. Like the pacing wasn't like the beginning of the game was relatively okay. Because the dicking off was minimalized because you couldn't leave the one planet you were on. You were doing a couple things that were kind of, linearly it pushed you through the planet with little space to mess around, unless you just really wanted to be like, I'm gonna max this reputation before I leave this planet. And there's no really reason to. You just chose to do it, kind of thing. And then after you get off the first planet, though, it's like the game loses all reasons to push you down the narrative anymore. And then it's just like, oh, well, I'm off to go find an adventure. And then you turn to the wrong planet for 4 hours.
Wizard.
There's just way too much of that stuff. Way too much of it.
It's like go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that there's a big element of the game which is going out, traveling by ship and exploring the nearby space around a planet. So you go through asteroid belts and there are like stations and stuff like that. And there is like zero incentive. Well, not zero incentive, but fuck all incentive to even go there. Like you can do missions there to gain faction points. You can get into random dogfights. But every time I had to go out into space, I was like, oh, fuck me. All I have to do now is I have to fast travel to my ship, and then I've got to go through a loading screen to go out into space, to select to go to a different fucking planet, which is another loading screen, to go to that planet, to be in space, to go down to the fucking planet, to get to where I actually want to go. And it just feels like a ball ache.
Yeah, they really dragged out the traveling between planets experience to a.
They want to make it feel realistic, like you're actually traveling through space, Karth. Gosh.
Yeah. I remember every space travel being a loading screen. I do recall that in Star Wars movies.
We're not here to play fucking Ice Road Trucker, okay? We're here supposedly to play an outlaw. So
well, but that was the thing too, is that like the game, the only advantage in the entire game of keeping your reputation net positive with the other factions was so that you didn't get instantly fired upon when you walked into their territories. Outside of that, if you were inside the city, it didn't matter what your reputation was to a degree, because you couldn't go any restricted area was automatically you're thrown out of here anyways if you get visually spotted. So it's like there was all these like things that were like, you should do this, but does it matter? No. Like I just watched a guy who hasn't even finished the new DLC or the original game, and it was playing the new DLC and got through without any of the upgrades in the characters. Like the game was built for you to just kind of say
Hang on.
whatever to it, and I'm like,
So is the DLC set before or after the end of the actual game?
it's after the end of the game.
But you can
Sort
play
of.
it
How can you play the
Sort of.
DLC before the end of the game?
Sort of. Sorry.
timeline-wise. I'm
it
just
is-
kind of curious.
It is not, the mission is not locked to beating the game. It is locked. You have to get to a certain point in the game, and then you have access to it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So there are certain things you can't, that will make the missions easier if you've done all the side stuff ahead of time. You've got all the mentor programs that they have in
Yeah,
the
so
game.
you get all
Remember
the
those?
extra abilities and the unlocks and the
Yeah,
boosts
all the
to your
extra
health and
abilities.
stuff.
If you have those, it makes the new DLC easier, but it does not require to do it. The only thing you have to do, I believe, is you have to have left Tashara for the first time, and then
So
you can do the DLC.
It kind of exists in a vacuum. What you're saying is it's not really
For a large portion of it. Yeah, the only
it
the
could
only
be
part
set
that
before or
matters-
after the end. I understand the difficulty with that, by the way, because they don't want to release a
Yeah.
DLC that's like, you must have completed the game to play this, because they're already going to they're going to chop out a large amount of the players from
Yeah.
even engaging with it, because they're like, well, I haven't even played the base game. I'm not going to play the DLC. Yeah, I'm not finished that, so I get that, but it just kind of feels a little bit weird, I guess. But
No, all you have to do is
You're absolutely
you have to
right,
get past
Essex.
the mission where you release Bosnick.
oh yeah, that's pretty early. That's pretty early.
Yeah, it's literally, I think the only thing that locks it out is getting off Toshara for the first time.
What a
And then
stupid
you
fucking
can go
mission
play
that
the
is
mission.
as well, by the way. Like, I thought Bosnick was
Well,
going to be way more important.
Hey, now in theory, now the fun part is that it's how you end up starting this whole mission in the first place, is because of how that transpired. I'm not trying to give any spoilers.
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
starts the.
They
he
do
starts
bring
the
it
mission.
back to a point, but the thing that kills me is
almost like they intended to do this from the start and then sold this as an additional
exactly.
DLC.
That's where my head went. Like, I look at DLC that should have been a mission from the beginning, anyways. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to SWGoH.
This is a great
Or
Galaxy of
SWGoH.
Heroes podcast.
Oh yeah, top notch.
Or is it time to wrap this up and be done?
I have no idea.
Do
How
we
long
got
have we been
any
going?
Tribe Talks questions?
I have no idea.
2:30, I don't
Let's check.
think we-
2.5 hours or so.
We've done
No,
pretty
no
well.
Tribe Talks.
Go us. Let me have a look. Trade Talks questions. There are questions from like 3 weeks ago. Yes, mate.
Subscribe.
Yes, mate.
Here's a flashback for you. Guess who just joined your Discord server?
Do I want to know? Who just joined my Discord server?
Mick
Is it-
Mull.
Oh shit!
Oh, no way!
I don't know if it's really him, but if he is, it's really cool.
I was speaking to him on X, formerly Twitter, earlier today. So maybe
Oh,
he's
nice.
like, that scribe guy, he's all right. Or maybe he's thinking, fuck that scribe guy. He did all these negative changes to the game. I'm going to yell at him in his Discord
Yeah.
server.
Damn it!
It
It's
is-
his
it is-
fault and
it is
his
all
fault
his fault.
alone.
Yeah, it is kind of my fault.
It is
Yeah,
all
that's
his fault.
awesome. That is an OG. I'm gonna do a new YouTube series called Legends of the Holotables, and I'm gonna just talk to all the retired SWGoH content creators. I'll get
There you
Warrior
go.
on, and we'll get McMole on. I can't get hers because he's back. Cubs. Do you think I can trap down? Trap down? No, I'm not gonna trap Cubs in a cage.
You
And be
might
like,
have to.
You
track
will
Cubs
talk to
down,
me,
though,
Cubs.
Let's be honest.
Um,
You might have to.
might have to.
You might
yeah,
have to.
I assume if I actually tried to message Mobile Gamer, he'd be like, "Who are you?" He'd be like, "Who?"
You might need to message Arnold to message Mobile Gamer.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Arnold is still doing videos with Mobile Gamer on Raid Shadow Legends. So
I believe so.
yeah, I've seen a couple of them.
God.
Didn't Arnold create a separate YouTube channel for Raid?
He has got a Raid Shadow Legends YouTube channel. That's a
Yeah, yeah,
sponsored,
I know that.
sponsored channel. So, and I think Arnold has had like live streams with Mobile Gamer, where Mobile Gamer is basically saying, "Arnold, you're such a fucking scrub at this game." So, I mean, that's just one of the videos that I saw. He was just taking the piss out of Arnold for not having leveled up his gear and stuff like that. So,
Sounds about right.
yeah.
Tracks. That tracks. Oh man. Well,
Havorius, I would
does need
take
to be-
any sort of Star Wars game, to be honest. We like Star Wars games.
I mean, I would just like one with a decent, like, I like the Jedi Survivor series. That's been pretty good so far.
I still need to finish Survivor.
The narrative on that's been good. I think that's the problem that the developers are having now is in the 1990s and the 2000s, we had just an utter deluge of Star Wars content. And so it was easy to pick and choose what you wanted to play, what vibed with the players, what didn't. And there was a game for everybody during that time for what you wanted to play. And now it's like we get one Star Wars game like every 2 years, and then it's under such intense scrutiny because it's the only Star Wars game we've got. So everyone's got to criticize the crap out of it, and it's just like it's why things underperform. What's up?
Cubs was singing Leia's mom on Urz's stream. Was that recently?
No, not recently. Like the Leia's mom clip is Cubs singing it.
Oh, okay. It was just a clip, was it?
No, it's Urz's creation, but the entire Leia's mom song was sung by Cubs. But it's Urz's creation, I believe.
Hang on, but SWGoH player is saying that Cubs was actually there on Urz's stream. Last Friday night, Cubs was on Urz's stream. No way! I was a little bit drunk.
There's a chance.
There's a chance. There's a hope. He was actually singing Leia's mom on Friday. I need to go and watch that stream. Was it near the end or the start?
Hold on. Rule of Two says he was not.
Oh. Hang on.
We need more. Someone get us a Twitch clip, okay?
So B Cubed is saying last Friday night Cubs sang. SWGoH player says yes. Rule of Two says no. God damn it.
2 versus 1. I need a Twitch clip.
Yeah.
Did he play the clip of Cubs singing, or did Cubs actually show up live?
It was just the old video. Okay, Rule of Two says it's the old video.
Okay.
Yeah, but SWGoH player says mid to the end of the stream.
But maybe what happened is Urz played the video and then Cubs came on the actual channel.
Yeah, I think he probably just played the video.
He sang a cappella from his phone.
He actually showed up live on his stream? What the
Somebody
fuck?
send a link, damn it. That's literally Star Wars
he actually
Galaxy of Heroes history.
Oh my god.
Get me the link. Get me a timestamp to watch it, and then we can verify this.
How are we ever supposed to top something like that? Urz comes back for 5 minutes and gets fucking Cubs to sing to him over the phone.
Seriously.
I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take much for anybody to want to serenade Urz, so,
I mean, I did, so.
But
that's crazy, That's really cool.
I need to dip a little early, though.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think we've actually got any Tribe Talks questions. If we do, I'm just ignoring them.
We don't.
That's fine.
We don't, but
Alright.
It's 2:30. I've got about an hour and a half of light left, and I promised the wife I'd be done today. She's supposed to be home soon, so I better get back to it.
All right, Karth, we love you, buddy.
Call it? Or
yeah, I guess so. It was fun. It was real. Wolfie, you look so goddamn handsome. And apparently, little birdie tells me, and little birdie being you, that you're about to go and do a little bit of extra recording action with a certain heartthrob of the holotables.
Yes, indeed. Well, about to is we got a couple hours.
In the grand scheme of things, about
yes, this evening.
Yeah. So everybody, make sure you check out Love on the Holotables. Urz's podcast for Galaxy of Heroes should be going live, I think, tomorrow, right? You're recording now, going live tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna record in a couple hours. Should be go live tomorrow, but yeah.
Sick. I'll give a listen to that because I watched this one with Calvin. I was on his one last week.
Yes.
And I'll look forward to watching and listening to you guys in about a day's time, something like that. So everybody keep your eyes out for that. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be hot, and that'll be on Urz's YouTube, and I think he's pushing it to Spotify as well.
Okay. Fucking
so yeah. All right, Wolfie. It's been an absolute pleasure, my brother. I will see you maybe next weekend. Hopefully next weekend.
Yo, catch you soon.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
All right, let's find some people to go ahead and raid into. Let's see who's available. I can see Calvin. Calvin is live. I'm going to send you over to Calvin. He's doing some GAC action. I will be doing GAC tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you swing around for the Monday madness. Peace out, everybody. Big love, y'all. Thanks for being awesome listening to this exclusive Galaxy of Heroes podcast. The way we do it, baby, is the way we do it. Good night, I guess. God bless. Big love. May the force be with you. All that business. Bye.